squat about making bourbon. For 210 years and 7 generations, we've stayed true to the original Beam family recipe. Here's the stubbornness.
Golfers, play more and get more with the Chicago District Golf Association. The CDGA is for everyone who plays the game. For more than 90 years, the CDGA has promoted amateur golf for beginners, juniors, men, women, families, seniors, and everyday champions. We service the game and over 90,000 members. Located at Midwest Golf House, the CDGA is at the center of amateur golf in the Midwest. If you're passionate about golf, the CDGA has what you want. Upgrade your basic membership to a CDGA Platinum membership to receive special green fees and more.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge to find you the ultimate TV experience.
With help from our Magnolia home theater stores.
I pledge to share the remote at least 20% of the time.
I pledge to help you experience home theater like you would in your own home.
I pledge. I pledge to show this off to my girlfriends.
I pledge to set up your HD right.
I pledge to savor the detail of every sound effect.
We pledge to wow you with premium brands at Magnolia Home Theater, inside select Best Buy stores.
Experience HD, done right, at Best Buy.
On December 17th, Range Rover Sport experienced rush hour 200 feet beneath Tokyo. See how at LandRoverUSA.com. Designed for the extraordinary, the Range Rover Sport by Land Rover.
It is absolutely possible to find a woman who is a sports fan on eHarmony.
I'm in my Browns and he's in his Steelers, two biggest rivals in the NFL. Well, as far as I'm concerned. My dad said, "You're gonna marry a Steelers fan?"
Oh, she was starting up big time when the Browns looked like they had some life.
Looked like they were gonna really give them a run for their money. And
or at least score a point or something. It's fun to have a little banter back and forth.
Find everything you're looking for on eHarmony.com. Log on today.
Hi, I'm Warren Pierre of the Chicago Cubs, and you're watching Comcast Sportsnet.
Coming up on Jim Beam Sports Night, Jose Contreras and the White Sox look to avoid a sweep in Boston as Jermaine Dye puts his name in the record books and also flashes some leather.
Jermaine, yes, the layout.
He wasn't going to play today, but he kind of pleaded with us that he always hits home runs on his birthdays.
D. Lee backs up his talk in grand fashion, but that doesn't come close to a no-hitter, coming this close.
It's a special thing, and it's a beautiful thing.
Rex Grossman is loving life in the starting role. We'll preview the Bears' trek to Green Bay for the opener. Going head over heels for Sports Night. Now.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Jim Beam Sports Night. I'm Mark Shanowski. We'll look ahead to the Bears' season opener at Green Bay, and Derek Lee really celebrates his 31st birthday. But we start out in Boston, where Ozzie Guillen had seen enough after watching his team lose 5 of their last 6 games. Ozzie called a clubhouse meeting to let his guys know the drive for the playoffs starts right now. He also made a lineup change with Scott Posednik 3 for his last 22. Posednik goes down to 8th in the order. Ryan Sweeney leading off after going 2 for 3 in his major league debut. His first at bat, Kyle Snyder gets him looking. Sweeney went 0 for 6 with an RBI. Jose Contreras on the mound trying to right the ship, with Boston with 2 on, 1 out in the first. Contreras battles with Manny Ramirez, gets the All-Star swinging. Then Trot Nixon goes around on the check swing to end the inning. Red Sox leave a couple of runners stranded. Top of the second, Jim Thome, who's been struggling lately, but makes this at-bat count. Drives one deep to right center field. That's going to get out. White Sox get on the board first. 3 of Thome's 5 hits in the last week have left the yard. A couple of singles bring Posednik to the plate. Base hit up the middle. Joey Cora does have a stop sign. He stops Paul Konerko at third. Alex Cintron getting the start at shortstop. He rips one to the right field corner, and then one hops into the stands. A ground rule double. Konerko and Joe Crede will score. White Sox up their lead to 3-0. And Contreras in control throughout the game. Bottom of the second, he gets Mike Lowell swinging. Then he makes Jason Varitek look silly as that one crosses back over the plate. And Eric Hinsky goes down swinging. Contreras strikes out the side in the second. Now 5-1 Sox in the third. Contreras getting some defensive help. Mark Loretta drives one to right. Jermaine Dye going back, makes the diving catch. Take another look. Jermaine all out to get that one. Thankfully, he didn't aggravate his sore back. We've seen it happen so many times. Good defensive play, and then he does it at the dish. Dye in the fourth, no doubt about this one. That's over the Green Monster, a 2-run shot. Dye's 40th of the season. He's the fourth player in White Sox history to hit 40 in a year. Sox up the lead to 7-1. Now Contreras in the sixth inning. He tells Big Papi David Ortiz to take a seat. 9 Ks in 8 innings for Contreras. And then here's a nice moment. Welcome back to Dustin Hermanson. His first appearance since Game 3 of the World Series. Hermie looks good. He goes 1, 2, and 3, getting Nixon looking to end it. Sox avoid the sweep in Boston, winning this one 8-1. Tomey looks like he's ready for the stretch run with 4 hits, including his 39th home run of the season. Dye collected his career-best 40th round tripper. And maybe best of all, Contreras looked very strong after a series of shaky outings to earn the victory. The first-place Tigers have lost 9 of their last 13, finishing off a 3-game set with the Mariners. Bottom 8, Tigers down 4-2 with 2 men on. Craig Monroe drives one to center, and Ichiro completely misplays it. Ivan Rodriguez and Nafi Perez will score. That ties the game at 4. After a long rain delay, we head to extra innings. Top 10 ends with the bases loaded. Kenji Jojima bloops one to right, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Raul Ibanez scores. Mariners take the lead, and they hang on to beat the Tigers 5-4 in 10 innings. The Twins trying to complete the sweep of the Devil Rays. Top 7, 1-0 Twins. That's the former Cub, Rondell White. He tees off on that Sean Camp pitch. A solo shot puts Minnesota up 2-0. Bottom of the 7th inning, though, the Twins reliever, Pat Neshek, gives the lead back. Greg Norton, who started his career with the White Sox, helps his old team. He drills a 2-run homer to the seats and right. We're tied at 2. Very next batter, Ty Wigginton. He connects off Neshek to deep left. That's going to get out as well. The D-Rays with back-to-back homers all of a sudden have a 3-2 lead. Twins down to their final out. They get the tying run at the plate. Seth McClung gets Jason Bartlett to fly to shallow right. Delman Young comes charging in to make the grab. The Twins fall to the D-Rays. 4-2 is your final score. So things getting tighter in the Central Division and wild card races. Detroit now leads the Twins by 4 and the White Sox by just 4.5 games. Minnesota's wild card lead sliced to just a half game. And just a reminder, you can catch the opener of the White Sox-Indians series tonight here on Comcast Sportsnet at 7 o'clock. We'll get you set with live preview reports from U.S. Cellular Field starting on Chicago Tribune Live at 5:30. And now to the Cubs. You know, it's too bad Derek Lee can't celebrate his birthday every day. Lee turned 31 on Wednesday and decided that he would give Cub fans a much-needed gift, belting a grand slam home run to lift the Northsiders out of last place in the Central. Cubs starter Rich Hill had given up just 4 earned runs in his last 3 starts combined, and Hill looked very good early. After allowing a leadoff walk, he strikes out Jose Bautista swinging. The next batter, Hill gets Freddie Sanchez looking. And then he strikes out the All-Star Jason Bay to end the inning. A nice start for the rookie lefty. Bottom of the third, Cubs threatening with Ronnie Cedeno at third base. Zach Duke's pitch gets past the catcher. Cedeno comes running in to score. Ronnie Paulino's charged with the pass ball. Cubs lead it 1-0. In the 4th inning, Hill on cruise control. He gets Bay swinging on the high heat. And in the 5th, Chris Duffy is staring at strike 3. Hill's 10 Ks through 5 innings, a new career high. Bottom of the 6th, runners on the corners, 1 out for Aramis Ramirez. Ground ball up the middle, but Sanchez gloves it, flips the ball to Jose Castillo, who completes a spectacular double play. Watch again. Great effort all the way around, so the Pirates get out of the inning, still 1-0. Now to the top of the 8th, runner on second, no outs for Pittsburgh. Jack Wilson with the sac bunt. Hill's throw to first will hit Wilson in the back as he collides with Ryan Theriot, and a run scores. The game is tied at 1 apiece. Theriot would favor his left wrist, but he stayed in the game after getting checked out by the Cubs trainer. After a sac bunt to move the runner on to third, Dusty Baker would lift Hill from the game. Michael Wirtz on to pitch. Bautista grounds to short, but Cedeno's throw home is way off the mark. Another run scores. Pirates take the lead on Cedeno's 24th error of the season. Bottom 8th, after an Angel Pagan pinch hit, Juan Pierre with a bunt. There's no play at first, so everyone is safe. Next batter, Terrio lays down the sac bunt. No play for pitcher Matt Capps as he slips on the grass, so the bases are loaded for the Cubs. And then 2 batters later, it's Derek Lee at the dish.
Derek Lee drives it deep left center. Grand slam time on his birthday.
How about that? Lee with his 7th career grand slam, and the Cubs win 7-2. Rich Hill probably has a spot locked up in that 2007 Cubs starting rotation after striking out 11 in his 7+ innings. And D. Lee certainly will have something special to talk about his birthday. Luke Stuckmeyer has the post-game report from Wrigley Field.
I don't know. It's a weird thing, and I was feeling some pressure that last at bat. Having not hit one, I told Bake I got to play today because it's my birthday, and I hit some home runs. So it was nice to hit it.
It was Derek Lee's 5th home run on his birthday. And this year in the clubhouse, you could tell D. Lee's birthday blast was, yes, icing on the cake. But another solid outing by rookie Rich Hill was just as sweet. Hill's gone at least 7 innings in 5 of his last 7 starts.
You know, that mindset of attacking the hitters and going after them, you know, you can, you know, staying behind the ball, keeping the ball down and elevating and, you know, throwing the curveball for strikes. And really, you know, I only used 2 pitches tonight. And you know, Henry did a great job back there tonight, you know, calling the game and you know, working the hitters.
Hill's success can be linked to 2 things: getting ahead in the count with his fastball to set up the curve, and control. He's walked just 6 batters in his last 4 starts, something he couldn't master in his previous trips to the big leagues.
And I think you're going to have some failure to have some success, and you know, everybody goes through ups and downs in their career, and you know, I think there's a reason for everything. And you know, I learned a lot from coming up here and you know, failing and now in the, you know, having success and being able to learn from past experiences, not to make the same mistake twice.
He's more confident. You know, he was popping that fastball inside. Any left-handers that can throw that fastball inside for strikes, usually they're going to be tough because you expect most lefties to throw the ball away from you. And if they come inside, it's most of the time a breaking ball. And you know, he had real good command of his fastball, which is what we have been looking for and hoping for the whole time. Is you have command with your fastball, that sets everything else up.
And Rich Hill's 11 strikeouts were the most by a Cubs lefty since Steve Wilson did it in July of 1990. After the game, he was asked if this recent success would set him up for a spot in the rotation next season. But Hill said it's a little too far ahead. At Wrigley with the Cubs, Luke Stuckmeyer, Comcast Sportsnet.
Thanks, Luke. Marlins and Diamondbacks, a special night for Florida rookie Anibal Sanchez. He's allowed no hits into the 7th. He gets some defensive help here. Hanley Ramirez, who came over in the same trade with Boston, great range, robbed Steven Drew. Sanchez has a no-hitter through 7. So top of the 9th, Sanchez just 1 out from the no-no.
Ground ball, this might do it. Hanley to first, he did it! He did it! A no-hitter, Anibal Sanchez!
Sanchez gets Eric Burns to ground out to short to end it, and as you see, the throw just does get there in time. Sanchez throws the first no-hitter in the big league since Randy Johnson back in 2004 as the Marlins beat the D-backs 2-0. Well, it looks like just about all the Bears players should be ready for duty in Sunday's regular season opener at Green Bay. 8 players listed as questionable on the official injury report, but everyone practiced on Wednesday with the exception of Justin Gage, Gabe Reed, and Israel Idonije. In our forward countdown to kickoff, William Jackson looks ahead to the big showdown with the Pack.
After staying healthy in the preseason, Bears quarterback Rex Grossman is all set and ready for a brand new year. Now, despite the fact Rex is the starter, he still has some naysayers out there wondering if he's the real deal. But he says that's just fine with him.
I've played 8 games, so, you know, there's not a lot to go on. You know, I mean, sometimes it feels like I'm judged on every pass that I make, whether it's a good one or a bad one. Think I'm, you know, make a good pass, I'm a good quarterback. I make a bad pass, I'm a bad quarterback. And that's just how it is when you're not really established. And that's definitely one of my goals this year is to get established as a quarterback for this franchise and in the league.
Yeah, regardless of what those on the outside say, Grossman's teammates have faith in his ability, and so does he. And after missing the start of last season with an injury, Sunday will be a special day for number 8.
It's an unbelievable time in my life, really, to have this opportunity to be a starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears and go up to Lambeau Field and play the Packers. It's a special thing, and it's a beautiful thing.
We've been pretty successful the past couple of years against Green Bay, and we're excited about our game plan. We're excited about the game, ready to get the regular season going. So, we're just ready to go out there and play and do what we do best.
Now, while Grossman is still trying to earn his respect in the league, the guy on the other side of the ball already has it. Brett Favre is destined for the Hall of Fame one day, but last year in the final game of the regular season in Lambeau Field, Bears second-year safety Chris Harris had the game of a lifetime.
It was unbelievable. I couldn't have wrote a better Christmas script. Christmas Day to go out there and get 2 interceptions to win the division. So that was a fun day for me.
I think back to last year, they had the upper hand on us. They played great football last year, and it makes you appreciate those years when we were beating those guys.
Last season, Brett Favre experienced one of his worst statistically against everyone, throwing a career-high and league-leading 29 interceptions. So is there a chance his confidence may be low heading into this season?
I mean, I would hope so, but he's the kind of guy that just a little bit of positive, maybe they move the ball a little bit to get him going back again. He's a veteran, he's a Hall of Famer, so I'm sure he's had more good times than bad.
I still think he's dangerous. I mean, for a guy who plays over 200-some consecutive football games in the NFL, it's obviously a huge accomplishment, and I tip my hat to Brett Favre.
I think the focus is not so much on being on Favre, but it is on being us, because it's our first game and it's our first test, and we have to establish something, right away. We need to establish something right away, and that test is going to come Sunday.
And Hallis Hall with the Bears, William Jackson, Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, William, thanks a lot. And still to come on this show, Charlie Weiss said his football team made way too many mental mistakes against Georgia Tech. We'll have a preview of this weekend's matchup with Penn State. Find out if Weiss will make any changes to his game plan. And later, the Chicago Fire hosts the best team in Major League Soccer, DC United. We'll have the highlights. Stay with us.
Breathe in, breathe out. Restless, waiting for anything. So come on, come on, come on now. Let's go, let's jump right in, screaming to the wind, feed the fire within. I can't ignore this burning in my soul. Come on, baby, let's go.
There's a car company for people like that. Ford. Bold moves.
America runs on Dunkin's new Sausage Supreme Omelet. Scrambled egg with vegetables, sausage, and cheese on a freshly baked bagel. We've made our best tasting sandwich even better. America runs on Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin's coffee. Made from only the finest beans, that's freshly ground, freshly brewed, and served just the way you like it. America runs on Dunkin'.
This September is a month to remember on Comcast Sportsnet. Huge White Sox games as the champs charge down the stretch. The future is now as the Cubs look to finish strong. U.S. Cellular Bears post-game live return. Ozzie Guillen continues to tell his story on Omni Monera, My Way. Garrett Wolf leads NIU into gridiron action. And Dan Kelly and Ed Olczyk have the call when the Hawks hit the ice for the preseason. It's all this September, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
A lot of brilliant engineering went into making the Toyota Tacoma famously tough. Of course, a lot of brilliant engineering also went into making the interior really nice. The rugged and comfortable Toyota Tacoma. A great way to keep moving forward.
Welcome back to the show. Now to college football, and all right, maybe that opening win over Georgia Tech didn't earn Notre Dame many style points. Matter of fact, the Irish dropped from 2nd place to 4th in this week's Associated Press poll. But Saturday brings another big challenge with 19th ranked Penn State visiting South Bend. Gail Fisher has a preview.
I know we're going to be sold out. Doesn't make any difference who we're playing. The game's going to be sold out. So my job is to try to see if we can't get the team to play better than we did last week.
Notre Dame coach Charlie Weis promised practice would not be fun this week after an unimpressive victory over Georgia Tech in the season opener. Weis hammered home details and fundamentals, so his players would be too busy to think about last Saturday's lackluster performance.
His emphasis in yesterday's practice was more or less on minute details, things that we need to clean up as an offense, offensive line, quarterback, running back, wide receivers, every little thing we were doing. He was harping on it. He's trying to get on us about, because those little things in a game, ended up adding up, towards the end, and that's where you kind of find yourself being inconsistent.
And most quarterbacks wouldn't feel bad about a game that included 246 passing yards and a 60% completion rate. But Brady Quinn isn't just any QB.
This is Notre Dame, so I'm not sure if you guys didn't realize this or not, but perfection is what we strive for, and until we obtain that, I don't think anyone's going to be satisfied. So obviously, stats are for, guys who lose the game and want to try to find some resolve in the issue. When we win, we want to go back and kind of dissect, all our mistakes and, get better from them and move on. So that's more or less where we are right now.
Quinn clearly accepts high expectations, and the pressure will be turned up a notch when Penn State rolls into Notre Dame Stadium, a game that is receiving a lot of hype.
Hype is hype. Somebody would have to describe hype to me. I'm not even sure I can spell it correctly. No, we got a good, tough football team to play against, and we got to get ourselves ready for it and go out and play.
Joe Paterno may say he doesn't know about hype, but he'll certainly feel it when he steps out onto this field on Saturday, considering hype has made this game the most requested ticket in school history. Hype, by the way, has also given Chicago area native Tom Zibikowski cause for, well, a new Mohawk-style hairdo.
I don't know, my dad did this to me when I was in like 3rd grade, so I figured I'd just bring back a little tradition, I guess, of my own.
Both the hairdo and the football tradition will be revisited Saturday when Notre Dame and Penn State meet for the first time since 1992. With the Irish in South Bend, Gail Fisher, Comcast Sportsnet.
Thanks, Gail. And still to come on the show, undefeated in their last 7 matches, the Chicago Fire take on DC United. We've got all the highlights. And Ron Zook gets his Fighting Illini ready for Rutgers and hopefully a repeat of last year's game. Stay with us.
Whoever said change is good knows squat about making bourbon. For 210 years and 7 generations, we've stayed true to the original Beam family recipe. Here's the stubbornness.
Over the head of Jenks. Gucci gets it, falls down, throws on the run. Oh my God! What a play! Unreal! Wow. That's the start.
It's back. The Chevy Model Year-End Event. We're moving out the last of the 06 Chevy models. So make your move. They're going fast. More Americans choose Chevy. Claim yours before they're gone. Log on to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check us out today.
On the next Amima Era, for Latin American baseball players, adjusting to American culture can be hard.
Es difícil cuando tú llegas a este país y te sientas y no sabes qué carrizo está diciendo el de al lado mío.
But the success of Ozzie Guillen and others continues to provide inspiration.
Y eso le sirve para los jovencitos que están empezando ahora a jugar este béisbol, que en la vida todo es posible.
A Mi Manera, presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers and United Auto Insurance Group. Sunday only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Have you made the O part of your morning? Or perhaps part of your game? Maybe an afternoon in. Or an hour in the gym. An elegant evening out. Or a vacation somewhere far away. You'll save on thousands of products at Overstock.com, as well as books, business supplies, auctions, and travel. Make the O part of your life. Overstock.com. It's all about the O.
The Chicago Fire taking on DC United. It's a Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup semifinal. Second half, no score. Long ball down to Justin Mapp, who controls it and then angles the kick past the keeper. Fire grabbed the early lead. Later, it's more Fire. The free kick is headed over by Nate Jacqua. Callan Carr gets there first, and he boots it in. That gives the Fire a 2-0 advantage. They're taking control of this one. Now to extra time. Ivan Guerrero gets it in the box, passes to a wide-open Carr, who fakes. And then he shoots in his second goal of the night. Fire win 3-0 and move on to the finals of the U.S. Open Cup. Back to college football. Illinois getting ready for a tough road game Saturday at Rutgers. The Scarlet Knights lost an overtime game in Champaign a year ago, and Ron Zook realizes his squad will have to be at its best to come away with a victory this time.
You know, games are hard to win. I mean, they're hard to win. It's not like it used to be. I mean, I think games are hard to win now, and obviously we're in a situation with our program where we're going to try to win we have to try to win every game we can, and we have to do everything we can to win. They were a lot like where they were maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, but they've done a good job, and obviously it's going to be important to them that they win. But I don't think you want to put everything on one game. I mean, you look at last year, we were fortunate enough to win the game in overtime, but yet they went on and went to a bowl game.
Good luck to the Fighting Illini. We'll be right back with our play of the day.
Tonight, White Sox baseball plays on Comcast Sportsnet. Central rivals square off on the south side as Joe Creedy leads the Sox against the Indians in high definition, followed by U.S. Cellular White Sox post-game live. White Sox Indians tonight at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet. Every morning, start your day the right way with McDonald's Sports Rise on Comcast Sportsnet. Wake up to the latest Chicago sports news with 30 full minutes devoted to the teams you care about. McDonald's Sports Rise, every morning, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
I have some questions I'd like to ask you. Some questions about your gambling. Have you ever maxed out your credit card on gambling? Or gambled just to escape? Have you ever sold your possessions to keep gambling? I did. And it cost me my friends, my student loans, and even my scholarship. But you don't have to lose what I lost. You can get help. Just call 1-800-BETS-OFF. I did, and I got my life back.
Save time and money with VIP.
I can start movies whenever I want.
Upgrade to the digital 2-star pack with Stars and Showtime, just $9.95 a month for 12 months.
It's like bringing the game to Grandpa.
All thanks to Mediacom Online with download speeds up to 5 megabits per second. Just $29.95 a month for 12 months.
He calls everywhere.
With unlimited local and long distance, caller ID, and more. Just $29.95 a month. Be a Mediacom VIP and save hundreds of dollars when you get all free services.
Call 1-800-KTV.
Menards is the place where you'll always save big money. Moen in-stock bath faucets are on sale. This chrome Valletta 2-handle faucet is only $59, or this 2-handle brushed nickel faucet only $99. All in-stock Stanley mirrored doors are on sale. Choose from over 20 sliding or bifold doors. This 48-inch sliding door with gold frame is only $44.99. Plus, there's 0 payments and no interest till summer with your big card.
Save big money at Menards.
13th at 4:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Play of the day, brought to you by Lexus, pursuing perfection.
Ground ball, this might do it. Hanley to first. He did it! He did it! A no-hitter! Anibal Sanchez!
Anibal Sanchez throws the first no-hitter in the big league since Randy Johnson in 2004. It's the 4th no-hitter in Marlins history, and that is our play of the day. One final note, congratulations to former Naperville Central basketball star Candace Parker. She'll be part of the women's national team for next week's World Championships in Brazil. Don't forget White Sox baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll get you ready on Sportsnight at 6:30. So long, everyone.
Whoever said change is good knows squat about making bourbon. For 210 years and 7 generations, we've stayed true to the original Beam family recipe. Here's the stubbornness.
On December 17th, Range Rover Sport experienced rush hour 200 feet beneath Tokyo. See how at LandRoverUSA.com. Designed for the extraordinary, the Range Rover Sport by Land Rover.
Bears fans, when the game is over, turn to U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live for in-depth postgame coverage. Our All-Pro crew breaks down all the excitement, complete with player grades and expert analysis. Plus, we're live outside the locker room with instant player reactions, inside the press room for all the post-game news conferences, and we'll have a preview of the next big matchup for the Monsters of the Midway. U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live after every Bears game, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
It is absolutely possible to find a woman who is a sports fan on eHarmony.
I'm in my Browns and he's in his Steelers, 2 biggest rivals in the NFL. Well, as far as I'm concerned. My dad said, "You're gonna marry a Steelers fan?"
Oh, she was stirring up big time when the Browns looked like they had some life.
Looked like they were gonna really give them a run for their money.
Or at least score a point or something. It's fun to have a little banter back and forth.
Find everything you're looking for on eHarmony.com. Log on today.
Honda Accord wasn't designed to start you like this. Toyota Camry wasn't designed with a view like this. And Mazda 6 wasn't designed with this much power. The Pontiac G6 was. But don't take our word for it. Google Pontiac Chicago and check it out for yourself.
Get great model year-end values now on all remaining 2006 G6 models. Hurry for best selection. For a chance to win big, see PontiacDrive.com.
From Wrigley Field on a spectacular early September evening, we are set for Chicago Cubs baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet. Tonight, the Cubs try to get out of the basement in the National League Central. They also try to end a 4-game losing streak as they play host to the Pittsburgh Pirates. And welcome to Cubs baseball tonight. Bob Renly and Len Casper. Of course, we're not rooting for the Pirates tonight, but this is a 1971 Roberto Clemente throwback jersey. It is Roberto Clemente Day around baseball as we honor the late Hall of Famer and humanitarian. Let's talk about the Cubs. Obviously, Bob, it's been a struggle lately, but as you look deep into the numbers, it hasn't been about the offense. The pitching has struggled, but they're scoring runs.
Well, they are scoring runs. You see the numbers for the season versus the last 10 days when the Cubs have won only 1 ball game. The batting average is up. Runs per game is up. Unfortunately, the pitcher's ERA is up. That speaks to the inconsistency, especially with the young starters.
And speaking of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Jason Bay came in cold. Well, all of a sudden, he's hot now. He hit 2 home runs last night.
Now, Jason Bay is a middle-of-the-lineup run producer. In his career against the Cubs, he only had 31 base hits coming into this series, but 8 of those were home runs. He may not get a lot of hits against the Cubs, but the ones he does get caused a lot of damage. 2 two-run homers in the ball game last night.
And you see the on-base percentage against the Cubs. Even though he's hitting .261, he does take a lot of walks, so getting on base at a .433 clip against the Cubs this year. Should be a pretty good pitching matchup tonight. Zach Duke loves pitching in this park, and Rich Hill seems to be a lot more comfortable now as a big leaguer.
Yeah, Rich Hill is pitching considerably better this second go-round here with the ball club. You see his numbers on the season. Zach Duke in his last 4 starts has faced all-stars every time out. Rich Hill may be pitching better right now than all of those all-stars.
And here at Wrigley Field, Zach Duke with a 3-1 lifetime record and a 1.74 earned run average. We're set to go tonight, and for the Cubs and their offense, Juan Pierre has been hot lately. 10 hits his last 17 at bats. He hopes to be the catalyst tonight. We'll have all the action coming up next.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Chevy. Check us out at ChevyDriveChicago.com. Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. Your Chicago area Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Aflac, ask about it at work. Toyota, a great way to keep moving forward. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, shining through. Ford, get to your local Ford store today. Ford, bold moves. Charles Schwab, get premium service without the premium price. Talk to Chuck. Charles Schwab, 1-800-4-SCHWAB. Midas, trust the Midas touch. Corona, miles away from the ordinary. And by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit Southwest.com.
You've seen how they play.
There we go. Oh, big puppy!
Now see how they live.
What's up, y'all? This is David Ortiz.
With AT&T Home Turf. Visit seehowtheylive.com for exclusive access into your favorite players' worlds.
Breathe in, breathe out. Restless, waiting for anything. So come on, come on, come on now. Let's go, let's jump right in, scream into the wind, feed the fire within. I can't ignore this burning in my soul. Come on, baby, let's go.
There's a car company for people like that. Ford. Bold moves.
In the midst of a horrible heat wave, the quiet farming town of Bergenson was rocked by a burst of bright light and a series of thunderous boom.
This is not just a crop circle. This is a sign. It's a request of some kind. Sir, you gotta see this.
What the man?
When the situation calls for cold refreshment, call for Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Taste the cold.
You've seen how they play.
Oh! Albert!
Now see how they live.
Let's go inside.
With AT&T Home Turf, visit seehowtheylive.com for exclusive access into your favorite players' worlds.
We mentioned it's Roberto Clemente Day around baseball, and the Cubs honoring the son of the late Hall of Famer and humanitarian, Luis Clemente, and the Cubs nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award is Ryan Dempster. And also the giveaway tonight, those 1971 Roberto Clemente Pittsburgh Pirates home jerseys, 100 random winners will take home that great jersey. Beautiful night here on the north side, and let's get the Pirates lineup. They've won 6 of their last 8. Their Southwest starting lineup: Duffy, Bautista, Sanchez, Bate, Doman at first tonight. Paulino back at the plate. Joe Randa with his second start of the series. Castillo and Duke 8 and 9.
Take a look at the Cubs defensively. Brought to you by Rico. Move your ideas forward with Rico dependability. Merton, Pierre, and Jones across the outfield. Ramirez, Cedeno, Terrio, and Lee across the infield. Henry Blanco once again behind the plate tonight for the left-hander Rich Hill.
And he starts Duffy with ball 1 high, and we're underway.
See the numbers for Rich Hill on the season. His last 3 starts, he's pitched a total of 21 innings, given up only 14 hits and 4 earned runs.
It's been all Pirates lately in this season series. They've won 5 in a row, in the last 4 by 1 run. The Cubs find themselves in 6th place for the first time this year. Duffy walks on 4 straight to start it. Now the Burger King game conditions. 70 degrees, low humidity, winds out of the east at 8, but not a big deal, and very tranquil.
Very tranquil. And once again, just enough of a breeze to move the flag. Shouldn't really affect play much at all. We'll see how it progresses as the game moves forward here, but not much of a factor right now.
So Hill with the first strike, and it's on the number 2 hitter, Jose Bautista. Swung on and missed. This is the first time the Pirates have been out of last place all year. There's a strikeout, so a walk and a strikeout for Rich Hill. 4 straight bad ones on Duffy, 3 nasty pitches on Bautista.
We talk about inconsistency. Walk the first guy on 4 pitches, none of them remotely close to the zone, then comes back and throws 3 nasty pitches to strike out Jose Bautista. Big sweeping breaking ball there from Rich Hill. That's by far his signature pitch, the one he's been known for, the one he racked up the high strikeout totals in the minor leagues.
One and nothing on Freddie Sanchez, leading the league in hitting and in hits, tied for first in doubles. This is how dominating Rich Hill was at AAA. He made only 15 starts and exactly 100 innings at AAA Iowa. And the Pacific Coast League regular season, of course, is over. He had 135 strikeouts, second most in the entire league. This is his 12th start and 13th appearance in the big leagues this year. He only gave up 62 hits in those 100 innings at AAA at a 1.80 ERA. Sprayed foul right side out of play. 1-2 on Sanchez.
Well, it's good to see Rich Hill altering his delivery to home plate here in the first inning of this ball game. The Pirates are not much of a running team. However, Chris Duffy on at first base is a guy capable of stealing a base. 14 out of 15 on the season. Rich Hill can be a little slow and deliberate in his deliveries to home plate, but he's mixed in a slide step. He's mixed in a couple of quick pitches. Unfortunately, Duffy picks a real good pitch to run on there.
But they get the called third strike, so Sanchez is out. Duffy picks up his 15th stolen base, and it'll bring up Jason Bay.
And when you have a left-handed pitcher who shows you a big leg kick and then he'll show you a slide step and everything in between, that's when you get base runners just guessing and hope they guess right. They hope they run on a pitch when you lift that knee up high like Rich Hill does right here. Fortunately, a good pitch for called strike 3 on a very tough hitter.
Speaking of tough hitters, this guy hit a 2-run homer in the first inning last night, did it again in the 3rd inning. He then struck out twice and then would walk in the 9th inning. So 31 home runs, 98 RBIs for Jason Bay. Big leg kick by the left-hander, and the curveball has been a good pitch here in this inning. 2 strikes. Well, the first 2 games of this series, Zambrano and Mateo combined for 5 1/3 innings. A bullpen with 12 2/3 innings. So Rich Hill hopes to give the bullpen a break tonight. After walking the leadoff man, he strikes out Bautista, Sanchez, and Bay. Cubs coming up.
The Hyundai Challenge is on. We're out to prove our new Tucson is a better value than CR-V or RAV4.
To start, J.D. Power and Associates just named the Hyundai Tucson highest-ranked compact multi-activity vehicle in initial quality. Tucson comes with America's best warranty.
So hurry in today and take the Hyundai Challenge
And take home an award-recognized Tucson with $1,000 cash back. Get a new Tucson with $1,000 cash back at your local Hyundai dealer. But hurry, offer ends October 2nd.
Are you paralyzed by all the details of digital televisions and high-definition video? Reference Audio Video in Davenport presents Home Entertainment Today, answers to questions about today's home entertainment technology. See Home Entertainment Today on Mediacom Main Street Channel 72, weekdays at 11 a.m. and at 5 p.m. Each episode will teach you what you need to know about high-definition video. Brought to you by Reference Audio Video, your ticket to home theater.
I have a few questions for you. You gamble until you're broke? Have you borrowed money to gamble? Have you ever stolen to gamble? I did. My gambling cost me my job, my house, almost my marriage. But listen, you don't need to lose like I did. You can get help. Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. I did, and I got my life back.
Numenera, Sunday only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Well, as we mentioned, the Wrigley Field Historical Series continuing tonight. Mitchell & Ness Cooperstown Authentic Collection 1971. Roberto Clemente Pirates home jersey night. Let's see, Babe Ruth jersey, Jackie Robinson earlier this year. And you were commenting on the gold. Black and the gold, the old kind of mustard look.
Very classy look. I'm not crazy about the style of those uniforms during that era. They all kind of look like softball jerseys, but certainly the colors that the Pirates used to feature were very classy.
Get the rest of the Cubs lineup here in a moment. And a strike on Juan Pierre from Zach Duke. And he's had a lot of first inning problems this year. 31 runs allowed in the first inning. So a 9.31 earned run average in the opening frame for the left-hander, who's only 23.
His last start against the St. Louis Cardinals, he went 7 innings, gave up 8 hits and 3 runs, and 2 of those runs were in the first inning. He's definitely a guy that pitches to contact. He's not overpowering with any of his stuff. He's given up 218 base hits and 179 plus innings this year. I mentioned he's been hooked up against all-stars. His last 4 starts against Milwaukee, he faced Chris Capuano. Against Atlanta, John Smoltz. Against Houston, Andy Pettit. And last time out against St. Louis, it was Chris Carpenter.
And you also added that Rich Hill has probably been better than all of them lately.
Yep, you see the scouting report on Zach Duke. Fastball, slider, changeup, tries to stay away from the right-handed hitters.
It's Freddie Sanchez to throw out Juan Pierre. A lot of energy. Ryan Theriot hustling out a triple into the right field corner.
You know, many times we lose sight of that ball down in the right field corner, Len, and when I saw Theriot turn the bag at second and drop his head to go to third base, I assumed Jeremy Burnitz had bobbled the ball out there in the corner, but he didn't. He came up with it cleanly, got it back in quickly, but Theriot just out-hustled the relay throw to third base.
They're hitting .323 on the year. And a hitter's count for Theriot. A wind and the pitch. That is a strike. When we're talking about first inning runs, Rich Hill doing something tonight that Zambrano and Mateo could not do, and that's keep the Pirates off the board in the first inning. Z gave up 4 runs and Mateo 2. Well, that's tough. When you have a team that's scuffling like the Cubs are, and the first time you come up, you're already down multiple runs. Two pitch is inside. Talking with Gene Kleins, the one thing he said about Zach Duke, especially for those righties, you're going to see the changeup at some point. He's going to pull the string. Chop to third. Joe Rand is going to barehand, and the throw is just in time. Joe Randa made it look easy. That was not an easy play, and Gary Matthews and Ryan Theriot with a word or two for James Hoy.
Ontario ran it out the right way, just dropped his head, leaned down, ran straight through the bag.
Now the rest of the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Ramirez, Lee, Merton, Jones, Blanco, Cedeno, and Hill.
A lot of times you'll see a base runner on a potential infield hit take that last big step toward the bag at first, almost a leap toward the base. Much better served making believe that that base is 15 feet further down the right field line. Just keep running through the bag.
Ramirez, of course, ejected last night after his third at bat. Close play at first. Slammed his helmet down and got tossed very quickly by Tom Hallion, who's working the plate tonight. He was at first base last night. Sanchez with a candy hop at the end, and that is a 1-2-3 all ground out inning for Zach Duke. Lefties have looked sharp at least through one.
It's back. The Chevy Model Year-End Event. We're moving out the last of the 06 Chevy models. So make your move. They're going fast. More Americans choose Chevy. Claim yours before they're gone. Log on to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check us out today.
On September 15th,
Will the Sultan of SWAT save the day?
You stink!
a kid who loves baseball
I thought you were giving that up.
My dad says you should never give up.
is taking his game
Babe Ruth's bat is missing.
to a new level.
Look! Lefty stole the bat so Babe can't hit.
Stop right there.
I've got to get Babe his bat back.
Everyone's hero.
This is baseball. Anything can happen.
Rated G. September 15th only in theaters.
We've come to the birthplace of gridlock with 2 cars and 1 goal. Get off the island first. The new 303 horsepower Lexus GS 350 with all-wheel drive. You can't lose. See your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer.
Bears fans, when the game is over, turn to U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live for in-depth postgame coverage. Our all-pro crew breaks down all the excitement, complete with player grades and expert analysis. Plus, we're live outside the locker room with instant player reactions, inside the press room for all the postgame news conferences, and we'll have a preview of the next big matchup for the Monsters of the Midway. U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live after every Bears game, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Underway here in the second. Switch hitter Ryan Domit is playing first base tonight. 1 strike on him. Rich Hill struck out 3 after walking the leadoff hitter in the first. One of Hill's best outings was against these Pirates 1 month ago on the 6th of August. 7 innings, 5 hits, only 1 run. Domit swings and misses, and he's going to head toward first, and he's going to get in. So on the 4th straight strikeout for Rich Hill, they get a base runner.
2 fastballs to go 0-2, and then a backdoor curveball. Just clanks off the webbing of Henry's glove, goes all the way to the backstop, allowing Domit to reach here. It's not like Henry to miss a pitch that he should make a play on.
So Hill charged with a wild pitch, allowing Domit to reach. Paulino hit a home run against Hill, and that supplied the only Pirates run in that game on the 6th of August. The Cubs won 6-1.
It's a part of the Pirates lineup where you won't see Jim Tracy push too many buttons. Doesn't have a lot of speed between Ryan Doumit, Ronnie Paulino, then the veteran Joe Randa, second baseman Jose Castillo. Those guys at the bottom of the order pretty much just go to swinging away.
At home this year, he'll 3-2 with a 3.35 earned run average. Charged by Cedeno, the flip to Terrio, and an easy turn. So they get the 6-4-3 double play, 2 down.
Boy, good decision this time by Ronnie Cedeno. We've seen him lay back on some of these easy ground balls that should be turned into double plays. This time he charges, gets that little short hop. It puts him in a good position to feed the ball to Ryan Terrio. An easy double play for the Cubs.
Well, that was the kind of double play. It looked like those two guys have been working together for 10 years. Good to see. Joe Randa with his second start in the set. 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter last night. Up and in on the heater from Hill. Good to see a nice pace from Rich tonight. When he's missed with his fastball early, Bob, it's been up
above the level. We talked about it. He had about 3 starts in a row where he was successfully working that fastball across the top of the strike zone, but just a little bit too high with some of those fastballs tonight. Even though he is missing up high with those fastballs, it still will complement that big overhand breaking ball very well.
Check swing foul to make it 3-2 on Randa. Jose Castillo would hit if Randa reaches. Pirates have already clinched the season series. First time since 2000 the Cubs will have lost a season series against the Pirates. They're 5-8 with only 2 games to go tonight and tomorrow. We want to thank the folks at El Jardín Cafe. We had a nice dinner outside near our production truck tonight. And, they catered it, and I ate way too much.
Oh boy, me too. Good stuff. I tell you, at the rate the crew was working through that food, I wouldn't be surprised if even the foil pans are gone when we get back down to the truck after the game.
Ate everything.
Woo.
Still 3-2, and the next pitch is hit high in the air to center. And Pierre trying to locate it. And he makes a catch. Nearing dusk, of course, here in Chicago, and no score midway in the second.
Your flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly, offering snacks for sale for $5. Also available, in-flight magazines for $3. If you'd like to rent a pillow or blanket, that'll be $2. You need to use the restroom? That fee's $4. If you need anything else, feel free to push that call button for a minimum fee of $1.
How far are they going to go? For 35 years, Southwest Airlines has offered low fares with no strings attached.
You are now free to move about the country.
Whoever said change is good knows squat about making bourbon. For 210 years and 7 generations, we've stayed true to the original Beam family recipe. Here's the stubbornness.
Honda Accord wasn't designed to start you like this. Toyota Camry wasn't designed with a view like this. And Mazda 6 wasn't designed with this much power. The Pontiac G6 was. But don't take our word for it. Google Pontiac Chicago and check it out for yourself.
Get great model year-end values now on all remaining 2006 G6 models. Hurry for best selection. For a chance to win big, see PontiacDrive.com.
Tomorrow, the playoff push continues for Jim Thome and the White Sox when they square off with Travis Hafner and the Cleveland Indians. Pre-game coverage begins with Land Rover Sports Night at 6:30. Then it's the Sox hosting the Indians tomorrow night at 7. Right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Sox leading big tonight in Boston. The Tigers already lost today. Twins leading at Minnesota 1-0 as they go to the 6th. Derek Lee turning 31 here on September 6th. 3 hits in the ball game last night. First time he has started in 3 straight games since coming off the disabled list last week. Would imagine he won't start tomorrow with the day game following the night game.
Derek's been swinging the bat extremely well, driving a lot of balls back up the middle of the field. Thought we might see a little more of a bunched outfield from the Pirates tonight. If you check the spray charts on Derek Lee since his return from the disabled list, most of his hits have come to center field. A screaming line drive right at Jason Bay in left this time. Get that one up a little bit, and it's out on Waveland Avenue. He hit that ball right on the screws.
4 up, 4 down for Zach Duke, but this ball was hit extremely hard.
They're really driving that bat through the hitting zone with authority. It's one of those line drives. You don't think it's going to stay in the air that long, but some of the big guys, they can hit that line drive all the way to the ivy out there.
And with a nice homestand, 6 out of 14. He's 5 for 8 with a home run against tonight's mound opponent. Here in 06, 8 for 14 in his career. Way inside. We'll talk about some of the other scores later, but we can mention the Braves in their 3rd doubleheader in 5 days got swept by the Mets today. 4-1 in the opener, then 8-0 in the nightcap. Former Pirate Oliver Perez with a 5-hit complete game shutout for the Mets. We'll see the Braves coming up Friday in the next trip. It'll be a 4-game trip, all in Atlanta. Well, those are big losses for Bobby Cox's club because they started the day 5.5 out in the wild card. Can't afford to lose 2 in one day.
I would imagine there were some double takes in that Pirates clubhouse. Looking at Oliver Perez with a complete game shutout. He struggled mightily here with the Pirates.
And that one dribbled into right past Jose Castillo, and that is the first hit of the night. So with Merton aboard, it'll be Jock Jones.
Merton creeping up on the 300 mark, hitting .295 going into play tonight, and just continues to grind every at bat.
Is that haze or smoke? I'm not quite sure.
That's brats.
Yeah.
And burgers.
Does smell like barbecue.
Perfect night for it.
Jock is 10 for his last 18. So you have some guys in this lineup who have been hot. And as we showed you in the open, the offense has been scoring runs. Duke will get the out at second. Sanchez had that ball get out of his glove, and he went through the motion of making the throw to first, but the ball wasn't there in his hand. So they do get the out at second.
Full arm changeup out there by Freddie Sanchez. Looked like Duke got the ball to him in pretty good shape. Plenty of time to complete the relay. He just loses the handle on it when he comes out of the glove. There's no ball there, Freddie. We'll see it come out the backside here as he tries to throw on to first base.
They call that magic.
Poof, it's gone.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, assuming for the moment that Derek Lee does not start tomorrow, will we see Henry Blanco at first again? You have Scott Moore here. John Mabry lately had been bothered by some back stiffness, even though we did see him pinch hit the other day. Scott Moore's played a little first base, but not a whole lot.
With the addition of Jose Reyes to the roster yesterday, it does give Dusty 3 legitimate catchers to work with. So certainly it would be an easy move to move Henry Blanco down to first base, start either Soto or Reyes behind the plate, and still have a backup catcher and another catcher in the ballgame.
Henry lines it, and the catch by Sanchez had to leap just a little bit to go get it. Merton with a 1-out single. Cubs strand 1 will go to inning number 3. No score.
A lot of brilliant engineering went into making the Toyota Tacoma famously tough. Of course, a lot of brilliant engineering also went into making the interior really nice. The rugged and comfortable Toyota Tacoma. A great way to keep moving forward.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Tired of counting minutes or waiting until nights or weekends to make long-distance calls?
Yeah, but I'm saving money with my cell phone.
Well, now save money and call anytime with Mediacom phone service. Just $29.95 a month.
Hello. I'm listening.
Get unlimited calling anywhere in the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico.
And no more counting minutes.
Talk as long as you want, anytime you want, for one low price with Mediacom phone service.
Now you're talking.
Everyone watches TV, but not every advertising program can connect you with the people you want. When you advertise on cable TV, that's not a problem. With dozens of networks, cable lets you target your ads to a precise audience, like active empty nesters or young professionals, even teenagers. No matter who you're trying to reach, you'll get better precision, value, and results with cable television. Call On Media today.
Sunday, get a complete recap of the Bears-Packers showdown on U.S. Cellular Bears postgame live. Pat Boyle, Richard Dent, Jerry Ozuma, Dan Jiggets break down all the action, and William Jackson will bring you interviews with players as they leave the locker room. U.S. Cellular Bears postgame live. It's coming up Sunday immediately following the Bears game, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Ronnie Cedeno with a leadoff single here in the third. And Rich Hill will try to move him up with a bunt.
One successful sac bunt on the season for Rich Hill. As you get another look at Ronnie Cedeno, takes that first pitch fastball away and just shoots it through that hole on the right side of the infield. Nice late effort there by Jose Castillo. Even if he comes up with that ball, he's not going to get Ronnie Cedeno at first.
Ronnie has scuffled against lefties this year, but against Zach Duke in his career, he's 7 out of 14 after that single. Rich pulled it back in time to take ball 1. Looking to double the sac bunt total. Right out in front of the plate, and Duke will throw to Castillo, covering first.
Nicely done. It's not always easy as it looks when you have that third baseman charging in there, and as a hitter you can see him out of your peripheral vision. That first baseman charging late as you see Domet coming down the first base line, and the pitcher charging straight in from the mound. You know the catcher is behind you. It seems like you have a postage stamp sized area to bunt that ball to, but Rich Hill does it successfully and moves a runner into scoring position for the top of the order.
caught the corner for a strike. Well, in his last start here at Wrigley, Duke gave up 5 runs. In his first 3 career outings here, he had a 0.36 earned run average. A roller to second. Close play at first, just got him. Pierre hustling the whole time, and Castillo barely threw him out.
Another bang play at first base on a routine ground ball to second base. Boy, how often do you see a guy bust it down that line and try to beat that out? Very close at first, just nipping Juan Pierre by the slightest of margins. You just don't see a lot of major leaguers hustle down the line like that on what appeared to be a routine ground ball out. And of course, what that will do is put pressure on the Pirates defense the next time he hits a routine ground ball to the infield. They know they're going to have to hurry the play to get it over there to retire Juan Pierre. That's when mistakes are made.
Going to be a grind here for Ryan. It's 0-2. Cedeno, the runner at third with 2 outs. We're in the third. And still scoreless. Cubs with 2 hits. The Pirates have just 1. Pitch.
We're watching Ronnie Paulino give the signs to Zach Duke there. Went through every pitch he had twice. Duke shook him off all the way around both times. Came back to a fastball in.
That gets away. Cedeno will score standing. And that's how the first run crosses a plate. It'll be a passed ball on Paulino. That's his 8th.
That pitch was head high over the middle of the plate. Paulino just a little slow getting his glove up there. Now he sees the ball get away. He'll score standing up. Take him however you can get him. Paulino, that's his 8th pass ball on the season.
Two to Terrio. Check swing. The last down at first, and James Hoy said he held up. Well, Zach Duke is tied for the most losses in the league with 13. He's given up the 2nd most hits and the 4th most runs. Swing and a miss to end the inning. That's his first strikeout tonight. They get the run, however, on a passed ball, so it's 1-0 after 3.
Discover Wisconsin and discoverwisconsin.com. 2 great ways to learn about the state. Join us every week right here for Discover Wisconsin Television as we take a look at one of our amazing choice destinations. Then log on to discoverwisconsin.com for even more information and register for Chevy's Drive to Destination giveaway. Every month we're sending 1 lucky winner on an exciting vacation. Now you can register for a Black River Country escape to Black River Falls. And remember to discover Wisconsin this Saturday morning at 10 o'clock right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Breathe in, breathe out. Restless, waiting for anything. So come on, come on, come on now. Let's go, let's jump right in, screaming to the wind, feel the fire within. I can't ignore this burning in my soul. Come on, baby, let's go.
There's a car company for people like that. Ford. Bold moves.
Tonight, White Sox baseball plays on Comcast Sportsnet. Central rivals square off on the south side as Joe Treaty leads the Sox against the Indians in high definition, followed by U.S. Cellular White Sox postgame live. White Sox Indians tonight at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Sunday, get a complete recap of the Bears-Packers showdown on U.S. Cellular Bears postgame live. Pat Boyle, Richard Dent, Jerry Ozuma, Dan Jiggets break down all the action, and William Jackson will bring you interviews with players as they leave the locker room. U.S. Cellular Bears postgame live. It's coming up Sunday immediately following the Bears game, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Ronnie Cedeno with a leadoff single here in the third. And Rich Hill will try to move him up with a bunt.
One successful sac bunt on the season for Rich Hill. As you get another look at Ronnie Cedeno, takes that first pitch fastball away and just shoots it through that hole on the right side of the infield. Nice late effort there by Jose Castillo. Even if he comes up with that ball, he's not going to get Ronnie Cedeno at first.
Ronnie has scuffled against lefties this year, but against Zach Duke in his career, he's 7 out of 14 after that single. Rich pulled it back in time to take ball one. Looking to double the sac bunt total. Right out in front of the plate, and Duke will throw to Castillo, covering first.
Nicely done. It's not always easy as it looks when you have that third baseman charging in there, and as a hitter you can see him out of your peripheral vision. That first baseman charging late as you see Domit coming down the first base line, and the pitcher charging straight in from the mound. You know the catcher is behind you. It seems like you have a postage stamp sized area to bunt that ball to, but Rich Hill does it successfully and moves a runner into scoring position for the top of the order.
Caught the corner for a strike. Well, in his last start here at Wrigley, Duke gave up 5 runs. In his first 3 career outings here, he had a 0.36 earned run average. A roller to second. Close play at first, just got him. Pierre hustling the whole time, and Castillo barely threw him out.
Another bang play at first base on a routine ground ball to second base. Boy, how often do you see a guy bust it down that line and try to beat that out? Very close at first, just nipping Juan Pierre by the slightest of margins. You just don't see a lot of major leaguers hustle down the line like that on what appeared to be a routine ground ball out. And of course what that will do is put pressure on the Pirates defense the next time he hits a routine ground ball to the infield. They know they're going to have to hurry the play to get it over there to retire Juan Pierre. That's when mistakes are made.
Going to be a grind here for Ryan. It's 0-2. Cedeno, the runner at third with 2 outs. We're in the third. And still scoreless. Cubs with 2 hits. The Pirates have just 1. Pitch.
We're watching Ronnie Paulino give the signs to Zach Duke there. Went through every pitch he had twice. Duke shook him off all the way around both times. Came back to a fastball in.
That gets away. Cedeno will score standing. And that's how the first run crosses the plate. It'll be a passed ball on Paulino. That's his 8th.
That pitch was head high over the middle of the plate. Paulino just a little slow getting his glove up there. Now he sees the ball get away. He'll score standing up. Take him however you can get him. Paulino, that's his 8th pass ball on the season.
Two-two to Terrio. Check swing. The last down at first, and James Hoy said he held up. Well, Zach Duke is tied for the most losses in the league with 13. He's given up the 2nd most hits and the 4th most runs. Swing and a miss to end the inning. That's his first strikeout tonight. They get the run, however, on a passed ball, so it's 1-0 after 3.
On December 17th, Range Rover Sport experienced rush hour 200 feet beneath Tokyo. See how at LandRoverUSA.com. Designed for the extraordinary, the Range Rover Sport by Land Rover.
The extended forecast.
That weather forecast looks great, Jane.
Sure does, Chuck. Not unlike you.
Why, thank you, Jane.
Now, let's go.
If only you didn't have to worry about your appearance. Fortunately, Walgreens has thousands of locations, many open 24 hours, with the beauty and grooming products that help you look your best.
Thank you. I love your curls.
Who's counting on your brakes today? Your brakes are too important to trust to just anyone. That's why you should come to Midas now. At Midas, brake pads or shoes are just $89.95 per axle installed. Be safe.
Just a Midas touch.
September 13th, tune into Bears Blitz on Comcast Sportsnet. Gear up for the next big matchup with press conferences, one-on-one interviews, news of the day, and more. Bears Blitz returns September 13th at 4:30 only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Time for the Aflac trivia question for tonight. Which Mets pitcher allowed Roberto Clemente's 3,000th career hit? Multiple choice. Seaver, Matlack, McGraw, or Koosman? So A, B, C, or D?
Big out early in the ball game for Rich Hill to retire Jose Batista to end that top half of the 3rd inning with a runner in scoring position, forcing Freddie Sanchez to lead off. That's right where you want this guy. He's a .411 hitter with runners in scoring position.
Now they really have a nice 3-4 punch with Sanchez and Bay. Sanchez is not going to hit a lot of home runs, but he does have 73 RBIs. It's on base a lot, and Jason Bay with 31 homers batting 4th. Here comes a 1-2, and Sanchez missed it, so he has struck out twice. 7 strikeouts already for Rich.
They've been split pretty evenly between the breaking ball and the fastball. This curveball just looks like it's dropping straight down out of the sky.
Well, his career high at this level, 9 strikeouts, and that was against the Pirates in his last start against them a month ago today. Hill is 26. He's 6'5". 205 pounds, a 4th round pick out of Michigan in 2002.
It's not unusual to see Rich Hill lock up a hitter with that big breaking ball, but he's fooled some of these Pirates hitters with fastballs on the inside corner. You saw Jason Bay react to that fastball inside right there. He's a pretty good fastball hitter at the plate, and when he gets fooled and can't pull the trigger on a guy's fastball, he's got good late life tonight.
Swing and a miss. Hey, Bob, one of our good friends, Gary Pressey, the best in the business, the Wrigley Field organist, reached a milestone last night. You know, they keep tabs on this stuff. His 1,600th game here at Wrigley, so this is game 1,601 at Wrigley tonight.
Congratulations to Gary. One of the good guys. We enjoy talking to Gary every day here at Wrigley Field.
We also enjoy, during batting practice, trying to guess which song he's covering. The 0-1 on Domet almost hit him. Gary's curfew is 10 o'clock. You're saying he might be too old to have a curfew, but we meant playing the organ here at Wrigley. See, he's getting phone calls already. Yeah, you're on TV, Gary. It's 2-1 on Domet. Hill rocks and fires just off the plate. No Xavier Nady in their lineup tonight. Bautista in right and Domet at first. Swing and a miss. How long do you think it took her to do her hair today?
Well worth the time spent.
Yes. 3-2 pitch. Did miss by much, and Domet will go down to first. Second walk given up by Hill. And brings up Paulino.
Second time Domet has reached base, this time via the base on balls. First time up he struck out when the ball got away from Henry Blanco on a wild pitch. Was immediately erased on a 6-4-3 double play ball.
Well, last night there were 7 shutouts around baseball, 1 short of the major league record. Slow curve and a beauty. We mentioned the Mets shutting out Atlanta.
71 miles an hour on that last curveball.
Rich Hill shutting out Pirates at the moment. Still early. Top of the 8th in Florida. Marlins 2-0 over Arizona. Popped up. Right side of the infield. And Derek Lee makes a catch. 8 strikeouts through 4. Only 1 hit allowed for Rich Hill. It's 1-0.
This is not good. What if I get hurt and can't work? Wait, I have Aflac. They give me cash to help pay for groceries, the car, even the cable bill. Lucky me.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
In the midst of a horrible heat wave, the quiet farming town of Bergenson was rocked by a burst of bright light and a series of thunderous booms.
This is not just a crop circle. This is a sign. It's a request of some kind. Sir, you gotta see this.
What the name?
When the situation calls for cold refreshment, call for Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Taste the cold.
It's back. The Chevy Model Year End event. We're moving out the last of the 06 Chevy models. So make your move. They're going fast. More Americans choose Chevy. Claim yours before they're gone. Log on to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check us out today.
Time to get the answer to our Aflac trivia question. Which Mets pitcher allowed Roberto Clemente's 3,000th and his final career hit. Was it Seaver, Matlack, McGraw, or Kuzman? Ding, 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 ding. John Matlack gave up that 3,000th hit. September 30th, 1972. Hit number 3,000 for number 21. And tragically, Clemente would die in a plane crash while en route to deliver aid to earthquake victims in Nicaragua that December. Former Pirate Aramis Ramirez leading off the bottom of the 4th. Good pitchers duel here early on. Rich Hill and Zach Duke. Cubs getting an unearned run on a passed ball in the 3rd inning. High in the air, and Jose Bautista will camp under it in right. 1 out.
In keeping with the theme of the shutouts yesterday that you mentioned, on this date in 1981, a rookie pitcher pitched his 7th shutout of the season. Went on to throw 8 in his rookie year. Fernando Valenzuela of the Los Angeles Dodgers set a National League record with his 8 rookie season shutouts.
You don't see that many complete games by guys today.
Well, the Cubs are still searching for their first complete game of the season. The only team in the majors that does not have a complete game at this point of the season.
And no team has ever gone through an entire year without one.
Well, maybe Rich Hill will break the seal tonight. He's really on top of his game early.
63 pitches for Hill through 4. Long look by Duke.
Well, this is the 3rd or 4th time this has happened with Ronnie Paulino, where Paulino's gone through every single sign Duke has. He's shaking them all off. To step off the rubber, regroup, and start over again.
Aaron Harang currently leads the National League with 4 complete games. That's not shutouts, that's just going 9 or possibly 8 if you're on the road and you lose. So on his birthday, Derek Lee not hitting for a high average, but has 4 career home runs on September 6th. Turned 31 today. Rocket on the ground, foul. Of course, your birthday was usually, yeah, it was always, I guess, right, early on in spring training.
Yeah, I
late
always
February.
did well on my birthday in fundamental drills.
Tapper is over Duke, charged by Castillo. He'll get rid of it in a hurry, and the throw is right on the target.
Now those pop-up priority drills and cutoffs and relays, always sparkling on my birthday. Nice play by Castillo, very nonchalant with that little underhand toss on to Doman in time to get Derek Lee.
Now in the American League, CC Sabathia has 5 complete games, so he leads the majors. Only 3 guys currently. Sabathia, Roy Halladay, and Aaron Harang with more than 3 complete games all year. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Zach Duke. We'll head to the 5th from beautiful Wrigley Field on a great night. 1-0 Cubs.
Hyundai is taking on Honda and Toyota with the Hyundai Challenge. We're out to prove that our new Sonata is the best value running. Here are the stats. More standard safety features and interior space than a Honda Accord. America's best warranty and $4,500 less than an Accord. You owe it to yourself to check out the fuel-efficient Hyundai Sonata. Before you spend too much on a Honda or Toyota, take the Hyundai Challenge today. Get a new Sonata V6 with up to $2,500 cash back or 1.9% APR at your Hyundai dealer. But hurry, offer ends October 2nd.
Mediacom presents the Metro Game of the Week, bringing you your favorite high school football matchups each week. Sponsored by Russell Communications, Get Connected, Reynolds Ford, home of the Dealmakers, iWireless, a T-Mobile affiliate, Acre, your superstore of installed home improvements, Trinity Medical Center, a better experience, Harris Pizza, the finest pizza in the world, and Mediacom, delivering on the promise. Catch the game 4 times a week, only on Mediacom Connections, Channel 22.
Menards is the place you'll always save big money. Give your home a distinctive appearance with Biltmore 35-year architectural shingles. They have a 35-year warranty, available in 9 colors, $14.99 a bundle. And right now, all Johns Manville insulation is on sale. Our 11 craft base is only $11.88. Plus, receive a $75 rebate with each $250 purchase. Plus, you may qualify for an energy tax credit. Plus, there's 0 payments and no interest till summer with your big card.
Save big money at Menards.
Watching Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.
Get Chicago sports news nightly on Jim Beam's Sports Night. Coming up tonight after Cubs postgame live, a report from Bears practice as they prepare for the pack. White Sox, Red Sox, and Pirates Cubs highlights as well. Join Pat and Kerry for Jim Beam's Sports Night tonight after Cubs postgame live, only on Comcast Sportsnet. The NFL season is almost underway. And a first pitch strike to Joe Randa from Rich Hill. Got some good numbers for you, and that doesn't even include what Rich has done tonight. You go back to his emergency relief appearance in Houston, that 18-inning game on the 15th of August. He's 2-1 with a 1.57 earned run average, 23 innings, 15 hits, only 4 walks. I think that's the key number. Has displayed much better command than he did early on in the year. His first stint, the ground ball backs up Lee, Hill over to cover the base, and they get the out. First time Rich was here this year, it did not go well, to say the very least. He went 0-4 in 4 starts, gave up 20 earned runs in 19 1/3 innings. And in his last couple of starts, he walked 5 in each of those starts. I mean, he's going to be a completely different pitcher this time around. And I think he hopes that there won't be another time around, that he's now a big leaguer and that's the way it's going to stay.
Well, he's certainly approaching his last starts leading up to the end of the season here as if he belongs in the big leagues. That confidence is not a factor anymore. He knows he can pitch at this level. He knows he can pitch well at this level. And sometimes that's all it takes, is just to reaffirm in your own mind that the pitches I was throwing in the minor leagues to get hitters out are good enough to get big league hitters out if I keep them in good spots.
It's 3-0 on the number 8 hitter.
Big part of any young player's development is getting over that hump of believing in yourself, believing that you're good enough to compete in the major leagues.
Now it's 3-1.
I remember my first game in the major leagues in Cincinnati. Had a pitcher on the mound that threw a 3-1 slider to George Foster. Pop up to the right side. This is in no man's land. Great effort by Jock Jones. Terrio there to back up the play. Unfortunately, that's going to be a 2-base hit for Jose Castillo. Let's finish that story quickly. I remember in the advance meeting we said don't give in to George Foster, so on a 3-1 count I called for a slider and he hit it in the upper deck at Riverfront Stadium. And I had doubts as to whether I could play in this league. When you see a hitter do something like that, it makes you wonder if you belong.
Right.
Great effort by Jock Jones out here in right field. The little bit of wind that is blowing continued to push that ball away from him. All out diving effort. Had the glove there in pretty good shape, but just couldn't come up with the ball.
Well, from a pitcher's perspective, when you get hit with what you would consider good pitches or out pitches at the minor league level, the natural reaction would be that you would try to pitch away from contact. And that's why a lot of times you see young pitchers walking a lot of hitters at this level. But if you watch batting practice on any day, guys will make outs on BP fastballs all the time.
Well, another thing you need to realize is the defense at the major league level is a lot better than you see at the minor league level on a consistent basis. So you can force that batter to put the ball in play on your pitch. You got a pretty good chance of one of your defenders making a play behind you.
Did you ever call a 3-1 slider again against Foster?
Yeah, but I closed my eyes before I got to the hitting zone. Oh, man.
He strikes out Duke. So 9 strikeouts ties Rich Hill's career high, which was set against this same team.
Well, the impressive thing about the 9 strikeouts, he doesn't even appear to be laboring out there. He's not overthrowing the ball. All of his pitches are very crisp tonight. His command, for the most part, has been very good, but he just seems to be in a real nice rhythm out there on the mound, not working extremely hard and getting great results.
This is kind of a big summer for John Shelby, of course, former major leaguer. He's a first base coach of the Pirates. Also Jim Tracy, the Pirates manager. They both have sons who were drafted out of college this summer. John Shelby III, a second baseman from Kentucky, was taken by the White Sox in the 5th round. And Jim Tracy's son Chad, a catcher from Pepperdine, went in the 3rd round as the Texas Rangers grabbed him. Of course, the Cubs took Michael Brenly last year. He decided to go to UNLV instead, and he just started school again, correct?
Yeah, they just cranked it up his sophomore season at UNLV. As a matter of fact, University of Nevada, Las Vegas opened their baseball season last year against Pepperdine. Had a chance to see Jim Tracy's son Chad catch in that 3-game series. Good looking hitter.
So we might see another Chad Tracy in the big leagues at some point. The other guy, of course, is the Arizona Diamondback, Chad Tracy. Hill ready to go. And his 2-1 pitch to Duffy is missed. A lot of swings and misses from the Pirates tonight.
Now you expect to see swings and misses on Rich Hill's curveball, but that fastball doesn't have a lot of movement. It's consistently sitting around 89 or 90 miles an hour, but the ball just appears to be jumping on the Pirates hitters.
That's number 10. And Duffy was frozen on strike 3. 10 Ks for Rich Hill through 5. I'm not good at math, but that's 2 per inning.
Honda Accord wasn't designed to start you like this. Toyota Camry wasn't designed with a view like this. And Mazda 6 wasn't designed with this much power. The Pontiac G6 was. But don't take our word for it. Google Pontiac Chicago and check it out for yourself.
Get great model year-end values now on all remaining 2006 G6 models. Hurry for best selection. For a chance to win big, see PontiacDrive.com.
Prepare to enter the atmosphere. Can we have parachute online? Can I have a picture right now? Now, if there is life, the Dutch will find it. What is he doing? What is that?
Now we wait.
A lot of brilliant engineering went into making the Toyota Tacoma famously tough. Of course, a lot of brilliant engineering also went into making the interior really nice. The rugged and comfortable Toyota Tacoma. A great way to keep moving forward.
All right, Mark, thank you. A pitcher's duel here. The only run coming on a passed ball, and Rich Hill has 10 strikeouts, a career high already through only 5 innings.
He's got it all working tonight. We talk about the rhythm. He's getting the ball, getting back up on the mound. Henry's hanging the signs down there, and man, why not? When you have a pitcher throwing strikes and using all of his pitches the way Rich Hill is, you want him up on that mound throwing the ball.
We're going to see, by the way, Alan Dunn at some point, I think in Atlanta. The Iowa pitching coach is going to join the Cubs. Mike Quaddy is back, and he'll be with the club the rest of the year. The Iowa manager. We saw Mike earlier filling in for Chris Spire at third base.
Boy, a little different look from Rich Hill on that strike 3 pitch to Chris Duffy. Drops down from a low 3/4 angle. Normally Rich Hill is up high over the top. Throws his fastball and his curveball out of the same slot. That time on the 2-strike count, he dropped down almost sidearm to get the called strike.
So it's Henry Blanco with 1 out. And a strike.
You know, keeping with the theme of complete games and this date in history, there was a bunch of good ones today, Lynn. Back in 1924 on this date, a gentleman by the name of Urban Shocker for the St. Louis Browns in the first game of a doubleheader pitched a complete game and won 6-2. In the second game of the doubleheader, he pitched a complete game and won 6-2. He had more complete games in one day than the Cubs have all year.
That's amazing.
Urban Shocker had 33 starts that year, finished 17 of them.
Wow. Ground ball hit to short. And Sanchez will throw out Blanco. There's Mike Quaddy. Proud of his guys. Had a good year. Tied for first, but lost in a tiebreaker because Nashville beat him 9 out of 16. So they missed out on postseason play. Could you imagine? I mean, how many pitches did that guy throw?
Oh, it's hard to say. He threw 246 innings on the season that year in 1924, which was way down from his career high of 326 innings that he pitched in 1921.
Oh, they didn't keep pitch counts back then. I'm almost sure of that. Cedeno pops out. Duke looks comfortable, but his team down a run.
Do you have a dinosaur?
No.
Do you have the space shuttle?
No.
What do you have?
Well, we have a display of the local gopher in his natural habitat.
That's not a gopher.
Yeah, it is.
Take them to a place that has it all. Introducing Southwest Airlines' new nonstop service from Chicago Midway to Washington Dulles International for just $79 one way. Purchased by October 5th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Buffalo Wild Wings. You have to be here.
Breathe in, breathe out. Restless, waiting for anything. So come on, come on, come on now. Let's go, let's jump right in, screaming to the wind, feed the fire within. I can't ignore this burning in my soul. Come on, baby, let's go.
There's a car company for people like that. Ford. Bold moves.
Tomorrow, Cubs baseball plays on Comcast Sportsnet. Derek Lee leads the way for the Northsiders as they clash with the Braves in Atlanta, followed by BMW Cubs postgame live. Cubs Braves tomorrow night at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet.
On Wednesday, September 13th, Cubs take on the Dodgers at 7:05 on Equinox Club's Fitness Day. The first 5,000 fans will get a sports bottle compliments of Equinox Fitness Club's proud partner of the Chicago Cubs. Lucky seat winners will get a complimentary 1-month membership to Equinox Fitness Clubs. This half inning of Cubs baseball brought to you by Robert Morris College, real college for the real world. Popped up by Batista. The guy who's 6'5" is usually going to take it. He's going to hit his mitt first. I think that's twice he's taken one away from Ryan Terrios. Not quite as tall.
Well, it's probably good Ryan's a lot shorter than Derek Lee. If Derek would happen to mishandle it or the ball would pop out of his glove, Ryan would be right there to retrieve it.
Sinking liner is caught by Cedeno. Well, we have a no-hitter alert in progress. It is close to being over. In Florida, it is 2-0 in the 9th. Anibal Sanchez, 8 2/3 against the Diamondbacks, no hits. So he is 1 out away. We'll keep you posted. The last no-hitter in Major League Baseball was in May of 2004. Randy Johnson had a perfect game in Atlanta. Beebe sat on the bat rack, right?
Yes, I did.
And we are now told he did it. Anibal Sanchez with a no-hitter for the Florida Marlins tonight. Got Eric Burns for the final out. Boy, what a year for the Marlins. And another one of their rookies. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Jason Bay. He has already struck out twice tonight. Sanchez is just 22 years old. He's a right-hander. Just his 14th career game. High in the air, deep center. Pierre is back now onto the warning track, and he has it. Just hit it too high. Sounded pretty good off the bat, but it stays in the yard. So Rich Hill through 6, shutting out the Pirates tonight.
We've come to the birthplace of gridlock with 2 cars and 1 goal. Get off the island first. The new 303 horsepower Lexus GS 350 with all-wheel drive. You can't lose. See your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer.
Every night, get the latest on the Bears with Comcast Sportsnet's Countdown to Kickoff. Our team delivers all the news, interviews, and much more straight from Palace Hall. Don't miss Countdown to Kickoff, presented by your local Ford store. Every night on Sports Night, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Finding your next car doesn't have to be complicated. VHIX.com makes it easy with a huge inventory of cars ready and waiting on dealer lots near you. Plus, VHIX lets you select colors, read reviews, even calculate payments. Looking for a new or used car? Search for it at VHIX.com. Roadmap to the automotive world.
watching Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.
Good to see the families out here tonight. Of course, school back in session. 1-0 Cubs. And a strike on Rich Hill, 1-1. Just to follow up on the no-hitter tonight in Florida, Anibal Sanchez, a 22-year-old righty for Florida, a rookie. He was acquired in that deal with Boston. As Randa makes a catch. So they get Anibal Sanchez, Hanley Ramirez part of that deal. Tell you what, you give up Josh Beckett, Mike Lowell, Alex Gonzalez, some veterans. But they have gotten some young players in return who can play. Dan Uggla, the Rule 5 All-Star. That's a big win for them, too. The former Marlin, Juan Pierre, 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, I think that just speaks, and Len, you would probably know this better than I, being down in Florida for a few years, but the importance of a good scouting department. Not only be able to scout amateurs for the draft, but also scout minor leaguers and big leaguers and see guys that you think might fit in with your organization, project those guys down the road a number of years. And the Marlins have gotten great returns when they have traded away their high-priced potential free agents.
12,561 was the paid attendance for that ball game tonight. 1-2 to Pierre is fouled right at the plate. I had been reading a couple of articles over the last few weeks about why there haven't been any no-hitters in over 2 years in baseball. Some of it's just luck. Some have talked about the strike zone, Quez Tech and the like. We just talked about the lack of complete games. Guys even having a chance to go that deep.
And certainly any no-hitter, there's a degree of luck involved. Defense has to make plays behind you. Borderline calls need to go your way. You need to keep your pitch count down.
Sanchez threw 103 pitches tonight. 67 were strikes. He did walk 4. They were all left on base. Bounced over the mound. Surrounded by Castillo. Gets rid of it quickly. Save. Pierre beat it this time. Tell you what, he barely beat it. Great effort by Castillo, and Pierre hustling as always. He could smell a hit.
Castillo getting off a strong throw from an awkward angle here on the move. I wonder how much the last close play at first base that went against Juan Pierre entered into the decision to call him safe there. I think the call was right. You have a number of bang-bang plays down there at first base in a ball game, and yeah, I think it would have to be human nature. Well, I rang him up last time on a bang-bang play. Maybe I'll call him safe this time. Clearly beat that one out.
P.S. Pierre with his 172nd hit, so at least at the moment he has tied Freddie Sanchez atop the National League in hits. So the Sanchez no-hitter, the 8th so far this decade. There were 37 in the 1990s. 7 in 1 year, 1991. Nolan Ryan had 7 in his career. just a little flinch. Looked like he wanted to go, but Duke threw to first. There's a nice article back in August by Scott Miller on the internet on CBSSportsline.com. Had some interesting quotes talking about luck. Bud Black, Angels pitching coach, talked about more preparation with video and advanced scouting, preparing for starting pitchers.
Now that's something that's really come a long way since my playing days. I remember in our advanced meetings, you'd get a very brief overview of what a pitcher threw. Maybe his arm angle, maybe his pickoff move to first base, whether it was good or not, and that was about it. He throws a fastball, he throws a slider, he throws a changeup. Give you approximate velocities on all those, and hey, go get them. Well, now guys can sit in that video room and break down every at bat, pitch by pitch, frame by frame. Try to pick up keys in a delivery. Maybe a guy does something different on his off-speed pitches than he does on his fastball. Maybe he falls into patterns on certain counts. Much more detailed now.
Duke seems to be paying a lot of attention to Juan Pierre. So he's 2-0 Ontario, now 2-1. At the end of that article, they had some quotes spoken about no-hitters. My favorite, Bo Belinsky of the LA Angels, after throwing a no-hitter in 1962, quote, "If I had known I was going to pitch a no-hitter today, I would have gotten a haircut." That's a good line. Another throw to first.
Sometimes that can defeat the purpose. If you don't have a good pickoff move to first base, the more you show it to that runner, the better read he gets when you make your delivery to home plate.
Base hit into center. And now Pierre to third, so it'll be an error on Duffy. Well, that's big now. Runner at third with only one out. They're at the corners.
Chris Duffy had not made an error on the season coming into this series. That's his second in 2 days out there in center field. Nice piece of hitting by Ryan Theriot, ripping a single right back up the middle of the field. He just drops the ball right there.
It's the second time that's happened. Remember, Freddie Sanchez had the ball just get out of his hand.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it may seem like a very simple thing, but Juan Pierre never took his eyes off the center fielder. A lot of times you'll see a guy chug into second there and immediately start a conversation with the middle infielders or start doing things he shouldn't be doing. But Juan Pierre kept his eye on the ball till the play was over, and because of that, he's able to advance onto third base.
I guess the baseballs are slick tonight. The 0-1 pitch to Ramirez, ground ball. Sanchez stops it. Glove to the bare hand, and what a double play. Oh man, Sanchez and Castillo turn. One of the best double plays you'll ever see. I mean, it does not get better than that. Still 1-0 Cubs.
It's back. The Chevy Model Year-End Event. We're moving out the last of the 06 Chevy models. So make your move. They're going fast. More Americans choose Chevy. Claim yours before they're gone.
Log on to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check us out today.
Stan, I hear the new CEO loves those new Rico Color MFPs.
Yeah, the new fellow's the CFO, Chief Financial Officer.
The money guy.
Yeah.
And that affordable Rico Color printing, he's loving it.
You know, Jerry, maybe you should be CEO.
You think?
Sure.
Move your ideas forward.
with Rico dependability.
I was thinking,
Yeah?
you know, sometimes you find something so special and you just want to hold on to it. Beautiful on the outside, sure, but even more beautiful on the inside, and you just want to lock it up forever.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Yeah! These can liners really lock in that Rocky Mountain taste. Hey, while you're up, grab me a beer.
Every Coors Light can has a specially designed liner to lock in that frost-brewed Rocky Mountain taste.
Sweetie?
Coors Light. Taste the cold.
Tonight, White Sox baseball plays on Comcast Sportsnet. Central rivals square off with the South Side as Joe Creedy leads the Sox against the Indians in high definition, followed by U.S. Cellular White Sox post-game live. White Sox Indians tonight at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet.
So Rich Hill back to the mound. And he faces Ryan Doman. 1-0. Cubs tried to get a second run. But the Pirates double play combination turned one of the better twin killings I've ever seen.
That's about as good as it gets right there. Starting with Freddie Sanchez at shortstop in the great diving play. Barehanded catch by Castillo and a strong throw on to first. Doesn't get much better than that.
So Hill already with 10 strikeouts. Got an email from Ed Hardig. The last Cubs southpaw to reach double digits in strikeouts in a game was Steve Wilson back in 1989, September 10th. He struck out 10 Cardinals, and then in 1990 also struck out 10 Dodgers on July 15th. Both games were at Wrigley. Prior to Wilson, Jamie Moyer struck out 12 Phillies in 1987. Pulled foul. Jonah Bayless is a right-hander up for the Pirates. Their AAA club Indianapolis ended its AAA season last night, a 4-0 loss in a one-game playoff for the International League's West Division title. They lost to Toledo. So they have recalled left-handed pitcher Juan Perez from Indianapolis. There's number 11.
Let's take another look at that double play to end the last half inning. Great play by Sanchez. I'll tell you, Castillo's ability to barehand that ball and throw off balance while falling toward left field really makes this play. It helps to have a strong arm at second base. He goes down near his shoe tops to get that ball and throw on to first base for the double play. But for the Pirates, that's their 148th double play turned on the season, third in the National League. The Rockies and Diamondbacks, the only two teams who have turned more.
Popped up shallow center, and Juan Pierre, no problem. 2 down. Pirates also selected the contracts of catcher Carlos Maldonado and left-handed pitcher Shane Newman from Indianapolis, so they have supplemented their September roster a bit. Luis Clemente will handle our 7th inning stretch, the son of the late Hall of Famer Roberto Clemente, here on Roberto Clemente Day. Pitch to Joe Randa, ball 1. Hill with a strikeout in every inning but the 6th, but in that inning he went 1, 2, 3.
How's that for confidence in a young pitcher? A 2-0 count, drops a curveball in there for a called strike. Boy, as a hitter now, Joe Randa has got to be thinking, what is coming next? Guy throwing me 2-0 breaking balls for strikes. 2-1 fastball right down the middle, just freezes him. Boy, the ability to throw something other than a fastball in an obvious fastball count. What a difference that makes.
We'll see some inside heat. He pops it up right side, and this time it will be Ryan Theriot. They go 1, 2, 3. Stretch time. son of Roberto Clemente, Luis Clemente.
All right, Cub fans, help me sing your favorite song. On the 1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. And they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. All right, let's get some runs. Thank you.
The all-new Acura RDX with super handling all-wheel drive. The all-new Acura RDX with real-time traffic.
Tonight, do the mojito with the refreshingly cool taste of the Bacardi Mojito.
Honda Accord wasn't designed to start you like this. Toyota Camry wasn't designed with a view like this. And Mazda 6 wasn't designed with this much power. The Pontiac G6 was. But don't take our word for it. Google Pontiac Chicago and check it out for yourself.
Get great model year-end values now on all remaining 2006 G6 models. Hurry for best selection. For a chance to win big, see PontiacDrive.com.
After the Bears game, huddle up for live interviews and analysis on U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live. After every Bears game on Comcast Sportsnet.
Derek Lee leading off the bottom of the 7th. The Cubs lead the Pirates 1-0 on a passed ball. It got away from Ronnie Paulino in the 3rd inning. That allowed Ronnie Cedeno to score. It is a pleasure to have with us in the booth Luis Clemente, the son of Roberto Clemente. First of all, welcome to Wrigley Field. Have you been to Wrigley before tonight?
First time.
Your thoughts on this beautiful ballpark?
No, it's awesome. You know, it kind of like makes me think back in the time that Dad was still playing. And it's great to still have, you know, this field here for everyone to, and next generations to come, you know, to enjoy it as well. Definitely how baseball got started, so.
This is a special day, obviously, for the Clemente family. Roberto Clemente Day in Major League Baseball, and the nominees announced for all the teams in baseball.
I think that's one of the most important ways to remember our father, and is to get the players to actually contribute back to the community and get involved in helping in you know, the good deed endeavors that they have. So that's one of the things that we really like about this award.
Now, how old were you when your father passed away?
I was 5 years old back then.
So what memories do you have of your father as a dad and as a baseball player? You
know, I remember he was very, very dedicated. He used to rest his eyes before a game. He would get everything pitch black in the house. He would put in kind of like sheets on top of the windows and everything, so no light would come in. He was very dedicated. He was always so proud of being Puerto Rican, and the way he carried himself, the way he dressed every time he went to a ballpark. He was always representing his people and people of all Latin America. And I think that the thing that really impressed me as I grew up and found out more through anecdotes from other people was how he really touched so many lives just by truly being an activist against any type of prejudice, any type of, you know, whatever he thought it was not right. He would defend that, always, you know, looking for defending the working class, and just humble, very humble, but also knew what his mission was.
Well, Luis, I can tell you I grew up in East Central Ohio, and my father was a big Pirates fan. I personally was a Cleveland Indians fan growing up, but he told me we went to Pittsburgh to see a game, and he said that is the best outfielder that ever played the game. Speaking of your father, and saw him throw a guy out at third base in that ball game, and I still have that memory in my mind. What a tremendous ball player he was, on top of all the tremendous activities that he was involved in away from the game.
Right, definitely. I think that baseball was really his vehicle to kind of like get his message across, and he did a great job at it. And like I said, he truly believed in giving back to the fans. He felt that fans were the ones paying for the salaries and that they deserved to get the best of each player. So, you know, he gave it his all every single day.
It was a nice catch by Chris Duffy. That ball almost got past him. Derek was running with that pitch. One out as Merton lines hard to center, and Jock Jones will dig in.
That was a good play out there in the center field.
Covered a lot of ground in a hurry. That ball seemed to accelerate as it got further out there into center field. Duffy really had to stretch out to make the play.
Were you at the All-Star game?
Definitely.
That was,
yes.
What a great moment that was.
Yes, that was very, very special. I think that a lot of people always know a lot about my father, but they should start knowing also more about my mother. You know, Mom has been crucial on just, you know, raising us after the accident happened, obviously, and then also continuing his legacy, his memory. And I feel she's such a special lady that that was a special moment. There's nothing fake about her. When she pointed out, that was not rehearsed, that was not planned, it was straight from the heart. And she said that Roberto still loves you from up there. I think, I mean, that was, to me, I just still get the chills thinking of that time. It was a great, great moment.
Well, when we go to Pittsburgh, usually after the ball game, Bob and I walk across the Roberto Clemente Bridge back to the team hotel in PNC Park. I mean, what a beautiful setting for baseball it is.
It sure is. It sure is. You know, you have the bridge, a statue. Susan Wagner did an incredible job with that statue there. You know, she truly captured the essence of his look, his features, everything. And people that go there to Pittsburgh for the first time ever and get to see the statue, they really always say how proud they feel about it. And, you know, it's a feeling we always have when we're in Pittsburgh as well.
Now, you are still in Puerto Rico. Do you have people come up to you and say you look familiar?
All the time.
Really?
All
we
the
don't
time.
know you and say,
right,
yeah.
Right. All the time. It happens. And then the ones that do know us get me mixed up with my brother, with Roberto Jr., because they say we look alike a lot. But yes, constantly they say, and there's a sort of pride that comes with that. I'm a father. I have 3 boys myself, so they've learned and they feel there's something probably kind of different from the rest of the kids, but it's not a different that is a pride that is like being stuck up or being, you know, that way. No, it's something that they know is coming with them, that they need to continue. You know, there's a legacy that needs to be followed up on, and they're really great kids, my nephews, nieces. So I'm very proud of the rest of the family.
2-2 the count on Jock Jones. We're visiting with Luis Clemente. Here's a pitch by Duke, and that one is pulled foul on the ground. I want to ask you about baseball in Puerto Rico. Major League Baseball, of course, at the end of the Montreal Expos tenure before they moved to Washington, played games in Puerto Rico. From your perspective, how did that go? I actually was able to see 3 games there, and I thought it was great. Do you think at any point down the road we'll see more Major League Baseball in Puerto Rico?
You know what? I believe so. I think that it's all in the matter of how it's being marketed. You know, I feel that there has to be a combined effort with tourism. Many, you know, all of the different teams, you know, organizations, how to create packages for also, you know, fans to go visit Puerto Rico, have a great time there, because logically, the local base, the fans in Puerto Rico, they're huge about baseball, but you would have to also, you cannot depend on just the Puerto Rican fans to have more MLB games being played out there, Major League games. I truly believe that if there's a combined effort to get tourism and different packages, and with, like, let's say all the Cubs and all the different teams to make that available and affordable, I think it'll be a great success. Absolutely.
I think weren't there some World Baseball Classic games at here on Bithorn Stadium as well, I think in March.
That's correct.
Yeah.
With a baseball classic, yes. Total success.
1 strike on Henry. Runner at first with 2 outs. Drilled in the left for a base hit. Second hit of the inning, and Lee will stop at second. So, were you a baseball player growing up?
I was, and then I got to sign with the Pirates back in '85. But then I had, everyone thought I had tendonitis on my right shoulder, but I actually have a hair thin fracture that needed surgery. Back then, MRI was not as available. I just turned 40 in July. I may look younger, I don't know, but.
Yeah, you do. You don't look 40 to me. I'll tell you that.
But back then, MRI was not as available, and so they were treating it as tendonitis, and I never got through it. I needed surgery. But, you know, that I learned early on what my mission was, you know, so I feel very happy about being able to help so many people, influence so many youngsters into improving their lives and becoming better citizens wherever they do and whatever they choose to do. It doesn't matter if they're playing sports or not, you know, they should, but it's, you know, it's more than that. And I truly feel that our father is still a great example and a great role model for many of them, and that's, you know, how we've lived, and we continue to portray him. We just did a concert actually during the All-Star weekend, July 8th, and we're ready to launch the CD and DVD that we're putting together. So hopefully around November, more than likely, we're going to be issuing a date. And today there was, along with that concert, we had an auction going on MLB.com. We had a guitar that was assigned for it, like the All-Star guitar as well. So there's many items. And actually at 9 o'clock Eastern time, that's when it ends tonight. So anyone interested in taking a look at it, it's all going to be benefiting Sports City and the Pittsburgh Cancer Institute.
All right, so MLB.com, check it out. Luis Clemente, a pleasure and honor to have you with us in the booth, and best of luck to you, okay? Especially with your family, your boys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the time, we appreciate it.
Sure thing.
Still
Thank
1-0.
All right.
Great to see you.
Great.
You've seen how they play.
There we go. Oh, big puppy!
Now see how they live.
What's up, y'all? This is David Ortiz.
With AT&T Home Turf, visit seehowtheylive.com for exclusive access into your favorite players' worlds.
Hyundai is taking on Honda and Toyota with the Hyundai Challenge. We're out to prove that our new Sonata is the best value running. Here are the stats. More standard safety features and interior space than a Honda Accord. America's best warranty and $4,500 less than an Accord. You owe it to yourself to check out the fuel-efficient Hyundai Sonata. Before you spend too much on a Honda or Toyota, take the Hyundai Challenge today. Get a new Sonata V6 with up to $2,500 cash back or 1.9% APR at your Hyundai dealer. But hurry, offer ends October 2nd.
You've seen how they play.
Oh! Albert!
Now see how they live.
Let's go inside.
With AT&T Home Turf, visit seehowtheylive.com for exclusive access into your favorite players' worlds.
The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA Red Line stops directly at Wrigley Field at the Addison Station. For night and weekend games, fans that do drive should take advantage of the remote parking operation, which offers parking and a remote shuttle bus at DeVry University near Addison and Rockwell for $6. For more details, call the CTA hotline 773-836-7000 or visit Cubs.com. Rich Hill has been marvelous tonight. And a breaking ball strike on Jose Castillo. There's a pinch hitter on deck in Zach Duke's spot. That is Jack Wilson. And this half inning of Cubs baseball brought to you by Empire Today, 800-588-2300. Ullman and Wirtz, and a ball got out of the bullpen. In fact, onto the field of play.
That's one unique feature about Wrigley Field. If you're a starting pitcher out there on a mound trying to nurse a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 8th inning, you know if the bullpen's going, because they're right down that line. Some ballparks they're tucked away behind a fence where they're out of sight and the pitcher doesn't realize there's activity in the bullpen. But certainly Rich Hill knows that Dusty Baker has a couple of relievers going just in case things start to slip away.
That single by Castillo snaps a string of 8 in a row retired by Hill. Jack Wilson has been relegated to pinch hit duty because of an inner ear infection. So tonight missed his 12th straight start. Did play defense late last night. And he bunts through strike one. Look, this team is in 6th, playing out the string. They've lost 4 in a row. This is the kind of game you got to get a win for Rich Hill. And the offense with only 1 run, but you know, hey, give Zach Duke a lot of credit. But this is a kind of night where you do everything in your power to get this lefty a victory.
Now, there have been a lot of games this year that have slipped away early. Just take your at bats, try to do the best you can. If the ball's hit to you, try to make a play. But when you have a guy out there working as hard as Rich Hill is tonight.
Well, Castillo was on the move. That ball got away from Henry, but correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, he wouldn't have had a prayer.
Another first move takeoff over there at first base, by this time by Jose Castillo. As soon as that right foot of Rich Hill came up off the ground, he was breaking for second base. I don't think Henry had a chance in the world to throw him out at second base. Wilson showing bunt once again. Takes that little cut fastball down and in off the glove of Henry Blanco all the way to the backstop.
One and almost caught Wilson. He spun out of the way at the last second. Well, of course, at the moment, the idea of getting Rich Hill a win is really in his hands. The tying run is at second base with nobody out. Cornermen charge, bunted foul, 2-2.
Very odd to see Jack Wilson unable to get a sack bunt down. He's got 9 on the season, leading this Pirates ball club. See if he continues to bunt in the 2-strike count or tries to hit a ball to the right side of the field here to move that runner to third base.
Fair ball on the bunt. Hill will fire, and it hits the runner, gets away from Terrio, and it's a tie game. In fact, Ryan lost his glove, and he might be hurt. Right now, he's got his left elbow tucked to his side. And after what we saw from Derek Lee in Los Angeles, broke his right wrist on a collision at first base. He is not writhing in pain, but he is clearly favoring that left arm. And man, we hope he's all right.
Well, both players come out of this one a little worse for wear. Jack Wilson with a really nice 2-strike bunt. Rich Hill really slow getting rid of that ball to first base, hits Wilson in the back with his throw, and then Terrio, in an effort to stretch out there and get that throw, just gets the glove stripped right off his left hand by the runner as he comes across the bag here. Oh, man.
They gave Wilson a single and then an error on Hill, so no RBI. And it's 1-1. Pirates trainer went out to take a look at Wilson as well. So just like that, it's a 1-1 game here in the 8th. And now he'll try to preserve the tie facing Duffy, and it'll probably be his last hitter. With a right-handed swinging Bautista on deck. He's going to try to bunt, and he takes a strike on the outside part of the plate.
You know, there are some pitchers, Len, that when they become an infielder after they release the ball, they can get to bunts quickly, pick them up, and throw quickly. Other guys need to gather and regroup a little bit. Rich Hill just took entirely too long to unload that ball.
Here's the throw, and Lee just gets Duffy. So that'll be a sacrifice. Now here comes the manager, Dusty Baker, and he wants the right-hander, Michael Wirtz.
Nice job by Duffy laying down a sac bunt. Look at Derek Lee picking up that ball over on the third baseline and throwing back to Ryan Theriot covering the bag.
Rich Hill getting a big hand, and he deserves it. Ford call to the pen. He'll exit. It's 1-1, and we'll be back.
Your flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly, offering snacks for sale for $5. Also available, in-flight magazines for $3. If you'd like to rent a pillow or blanket, that'll be $2. You need to use the restroom, that fee's $4. If you need anything else, feel free to push that call button for a minimum fee of $1.
How far are they going to go? For 35 years, Southwest Airlines has offered low fares with no strings attached.
You are now free to move about the country.
Want more than just the score? Then log on to ComcastSportsNet.com. Read analysis from Comcast Sportsnet's experts that you can't find anywhere else. Get up to the second news headlines. See the day's programming lineup. Check out talent bios and watch video clips featuring the latest info on your teams. Plus, sign up for Sports Extra and Sports Blast email alerts that make you the first to know about breaking news. So what are you waiting for? Log on to ComcastSportsNet.com right now. Bears fans, when the game is over, turn to U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live for in-depth postgame coverage. Our all-pro crew breaks down all the excitement, complete with player grades and expert analysis. Plus, we're live outside the locker room with instant player reactions, inside the press room for all the postgame news conferences, and we'll have a preview of the next big matchup for the Monsters of the Midway. U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live after every Bears game, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
BMW Ultimate Play. Rich Hill pitched his tail off tonight. 11 strikeouts. But it's 1-1 in the 8th.
Yeah, Rich Hill had it all working tonight. Had the fastball working, the big overhand curve. He dropped down, changed his arm angle. A standing ovation for Rich Hill. Well deserved tonight.
So it's Michael Wirtz. This is a tough spot. Runner at third, infield in, 1 out. Facing Bautista with Sanchez on deck. Jack Wilson, potential go-ahead run. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, already 1 no-hitter in Major League Baseball tonight, and Randy Johnson no-hitting the Kansas City Royals through 6 in KC. Yankees lead 5-0 in the top of the 7th. We'll keep an eye on that one. Check swing, foul ball. I remember June 29th, 1990. Fernando and Dave Stewart each threw a no-hitter. One-two pitch, bounce it is short. Wilson trying to score. The throw gets away from Henry. And that'll send Bautista to second. With a naked eye, it would have been very close if he would have had a chance to get him at all, but we'll never know because it got away from Blanco. And it's 2-1. The fielder's choice RBI and an error on Ronnie, allowing Bautista to go to second.
Well, what a great jump at third by Jack Wilson, going on contact, had all his momentum going toward the plate. Even if Henry's able to hang on to that throw, the fact that it was on the first base side of home plate, he had to wheel all the way around to apply the tag. I don't think they're going to get Jack Wilson anyway. And it becomes a moot point when the ball goes all the way to the backstop and the Pirates have another runner in scoring position.
Yeah, a good throw I think would have gotten him, but as you say, where it was, it wouldn't have. Bautista will end up at third and Sanchez thrown out at first.
Well, obviously not a good throw by Ronnie. A good effort by Henry at the plate to try to snag and tag all in one motion, but what really made that play was Jack Wilson's jump at third base. Took a huge secondary lead, and just as his right foot was coming down on the ground, the ball was put into play, and he just broke for the plate and forced Ronnie to rush his throw and made a bad throw.
So now all of a sudden Rich Hill is on the hook for potential loss. 2 errors in the inning, one by Hill, the other by Cedeno. And another one-run game. This is a movie we've seen a lot the last week or so. The last 4 losses to the Pirates have been by 1 run.
Well, since the All-Star break, the Pirates have played 14 one-run games and won 12 of them.
And they were 9-25 at one point in one-run games, but that has changed. A one-hopper. Cedeno will throw first, and they get Day to end the inning. But the Pirates have now taken the lead with 2 runs. It is 2-1 to the bottom of the 8th.
It's back. The Chevy Model Year End event. We're moving out the last of the 06 Chevy models. So make your move. They're going fast. More Americans choose Chevy. Claim yours before they're gone. Log on to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check us out today.
You may be surprised at all of the things on-demand service from Mediacom can do, like rewind a movie to the very best parts over and over. If you have Mediacom digital cable, you already have on-demand service. On-demand service from Mediacom. Are you ready to be surprised? You may be surprised at all of the things on-demand service from Mediacom can do, like stop anywhere in a movie and start where you left off. If you have Mediacom digital cable, you already have on-demand service. On-demand service from Mediacom. Are you ready to be surprised?
When you visit your neighborhood Blackhawk State Bank location, you'll feel like you're walking through your neighborhood, and that's because you are. The friendly faces you see at each location are the people working with you to keep your neighborhood safe, and also helping you with your finances at Blackhawk State Bank. So visit your friendly neighbors at Blackhawk State Bank's 8 convenient Quad City locations. Blackhawk State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Mark, thank you. The Pirates with 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 unearned in the top of this 8th inning. We're now in the lower half of the inning, and it's Angel Pagan pinch hitting against new Pirates pitcher, left-hander John Grabo. Xavier Nady is also in to play first base. The numbers on Grabo, who got the victory in relief last night. Pagan bloops into right center. Tying run on base. Good speed. And Angel Pagan is on.
look from behind home plate as Pagan cues one off the end of the bat into shallow right center field, out there into no man's land. Good start here to the bottom of the 8th for the Cubs. Now, if you believe in the old cliches about playing for a tie at home, play for the win on the road, we'll probably see Juan Pierre attempting to sacrifice bunt Pagan into scoring position here.
Bunted by Pierre. Graybo's going to throw. No, he won't, because Castillo drifted over but couldn't get to first in time. Juan Pierre simply beat the second baseman to first. And it's a hit. And it's his second tonight. 2 on, no outs. And now Jim Tracy will come out, and all kinds of options for the Cubs with Ryan Theriot at the plate. Want to mention Randy Johnson's no-hit bid ended as David DeJesus led off the bottom of the 7th in Kansas City with a triple. Here it is 2-1. The Cubs trail in the 8th inning, and Matt Capps will be the new pitcher. It's the Ford call to the pen.
When the game is over, the breakdown gets started on BMW Cubs Postgame Live.
As we mentioned, the Cubs really got off to a good start in this game.
Dan Plesac offers his take on what happened.
This game was simply won and lost in the 5th inning.
Hear live postgame reactions. Catch Linenbaum's final thoughts. And preview the Northsiders' next big matchup. BMW Cubs Postgame Live. After every Cubs game on Comcast Sportsnet.
Introducing the new Escalade EXT and the extended Escalade ESV.
Comcast Sportsnet's action-packed weekend begins Friday night at 6 as the Cubs take on the Braves. Saturday at 2, NIU battles Ohio U in a college football showdown. At 5:30, the series continues when the Cubs and Braves meet again. Sunday at 12:30, the Sox and Indians wrap up their series. At 4:30, don't miss an all-new Ami Manera. After the Bears game, catch U.S. Cellular Bears postgame live. It's an action-packed weekend only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Pirates had a brutal first half, but they've been pretty good here in the second half. In fact, 3 games over 500 since the 14th of July. And they're pitching a lot better. Matt Capps is on. Runners at first and second. No outs for the Cubs as they trail by a run. Strike 1 on Theriot.
Need to bunt that ball to third base unless as a hitter you see the shortstop breaking toward third. That's an indication that the third baseman's going to charge. If that shortstop hold his ground or breaks towards second base, you have to bunt the ball towards the third baseman.
Kick in the offering, bunted. Cap slips. Bases loaded. Caps might curse at his spikes because they gave out on him. And that's a hit.
Theriot tries to put this ball to the third base side. It goes back to the mound a little bit too much, but fortunately for the Cubs, Capps loses his balance, loses his feet out there. Goes down to his rear end by the time he recovers and throws on to first base. Theriot hustling all the way, beats it at first. The Cubs have him loaded with nobody out.
In the heart of the order, Ramirez and Lee. And now the Pirates think about turning 2. They'll give up that tying run with a chance for a double play. Pagan, the runner at third. Line at the shortstop. Pierre back to second. Everybody else back to their base. Ramos is in disbelief. Crushed it right at Sanchez.
Well, you can't do anything else as a hitter. He absolutely smoked that ball right at Sanchez at shortstop. Good base running by the Cubs runners who were on base. That's the kind of ball that occasionally gets turned into a triple play. Rocket line drive that looked like it was headed up the middle of the field, but Juan Pierre read it correctly, got back to the bag.
Derek Lee drives it deep left center. Grand slam time on his birthday. A line shot granny into the bleachers, and the Cubs lead once again. Happy birthday, D. Lee. It's his 5th home run on his birthday. To 2. That felt cathartic. You know what I mean? This is something the Cubs needed. A couple of infield hits in the inning. After watching the Pirates take the lead. Merton grounds to short, backhanded by Sanchez. He dropped it. And Merton is on.
Boy, Matt Cap's birthday present to Derek Lee is a fastball with a bow on it right down the middle of the plate. Our Heineken home run replay. D. Lee touching him up for a grand slam.
And Jim Colburn is going to walk out toward the mound. I'm assuming that's an error on Freddie Sanchez to allow Merton to get on. Gary Pressey playing happy birthday to Derek Lee. Well, infield hit for Merton.
Happy birthday, Matt Merton.
Yeah, take it.
Cake for everybody. What the heck?
Jock Jones hits a fly ball down the left field line. Out of play. Well, Rich Hill will get a no decision tonight. Michael Wirtz now has a chance for a win. Bob Howery is throwing in the Cubs bullpen. Ryan Dempster is still Dusty Baker's closer. Dusty was adamant about that before the ball game. Merton trying to steal, bounced throw, and he's in with his 5th.
So much of the talk early this season was whether Matt Merton would hit for enough power to play a corner outfield position. I think he will hit for more power as he gets more experience in major league level, and I also think he will steal more bases. Ace is wild on the board right now. I'm going to go ahead and intentionally pass Jock Jones here to get to the right-handed batting Henry Blanco. Matt Merton has shown an ability to get some good jumps over there at first base.
This will be the first walk of the night for the Cubs offense, an intentional walk. 5 hits in the inning. The big one, the grand slam, number 7 in Derek Lee's career. The Cubs have hit 4 in 06. It's just what this team needed.
Well, after an ugly top half of the 8th inning, and we've seen a lot of those this year, and things continue to go south from that point, for the Cubs offensively to be able to come up here in the bottom half of the 8th inning and mount this rally, that has to feel great.
Swing by Henry came up empty. Through the whole left side. Merton's going to be set. Jason Bay's up with it. Here comes a throw. And it skips past Randa way late to the plate. And it's now 6-2. That will signal the end of Matt Cap's performance tonight. And it was a rough one. Ford called to the pen once again. And we'll be back. It is Brian Rogers coming up.
Every night for the latest on the NFC North champs, stay with Comcast Sportsnet's Countdown to Kickoff. Count on our team to bring you the latest news coming out of Hollis Hall. Hear from players and coaches as they prepare for another season. Get exclusive one-on-one interviews and keep up to date on position battles and standout performers. Don't miss Countdown to Kickoff, presented by your local Ford store. Every night on Sports Night, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Introducing the new 2007 Yukon Denali, the definition of great engineering.
On the next A Mi Manera, for Latin American baseball players, adjusting to American culture can be hard.
Es difícil cuando tú llegas a este país y te sientas y no sabes qué carrizo está diciendo el de al lado mío.
But the success of Ozzie and others continues to provide inspiration.
Y eso le sirve para los jovencitos que están empezando ahora a jugar este béisbol, que en la vida todo es posible.
A Mi Manera, presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers and United Auto Insurance Group. Sunday only on Comcast Sportsnet.
The Nissan drive of the game. The Cubs needed a big hit, and Derek Lee provided it with a grand slam on his birthday. He's back. And here's Brian Rogers making his third appearance. He made his big league debut on Friday in St. Louis. Here's Bob Howery again. Dusty Baker was asked about Ryan Dempster before the game. He said, he's my closer.
You know, Len, a lot has been written about Derek Lee's absence from the Cubs this year when he was on the disabled list, and the bean counters and number crunchers tried to put a number on how many games different it would make with Derek in the lineup as opposed to Derek out of the lineup. I don't know if I believe all the numbers. I believe what I saw with my eyes here tonight. Having Derek Lee healthy back in the lineup, swinging a productive bat, makes a huge difference in this Cubs offensive lineup. How many games that equates to over the course of a season, I'm not sure. But certainly it changes the way the opposing team approaches the Cubs.
Yeah, I agree. At the moment, it won't be a safe situation in the ninth inning. To start the inning, only safe spot would be if Bob Howery were to get into trouble. But the Cubs certainly hope that's not the case. And Cedeno hit by a pitch to load the bases. And Angel Pagano started the inning as a pinch hitter with a single. Will bat again.
You have to believe that ball just got away from Rogers. Doesn't really appear to be any reason to throw at Ronnie Cedeno in this situation. Untucked his shirt right there.
So Angel Pagan is a man without a position right now because he was a pinch hitter the first time in the inning. They're going to bring their infield in with the bases loaded. And that's a strike. Floater into center. It's going to drop down. Station to station now as Jones scores. They're still loaded, and it's 7-2. And Pagan is 2 for 2 in this inning. Whoever said hitting was contagious seems to be right on the money. I mean, into this inning, the only run the Cubs had scored was on a passed ball.
Well, and the only out in this inning was a rocket line drive hit by Aramis Ramirez right at Freddie Sanchez at shortstop. Keep the line moving. Pirates will bring their infield in, play for the force play at the plate with Juan Pierre at the dish. If you play your infielders back, it's going to be tough to turn a double play up the middle of the field, so they're going to try to cut off another run here.
Considering how busy Bob Howery has been, would you think about getting somebody else at least up at the moment if this inning keeps going on and you have a 9-run lead, or do you assume because he's hot already just let him pitch?
I think if the Cubs tack on a few more runs, it'd be nice to save Bob Howery in the event they need him tomorrow.
Well, that won't be an issue because Nady turns a double play as Pierre lines out, and then Nady stepped on first. Howery will come in. Cubs with a big lead, and game-winning homer tonight hopefully will be that one from Derek Lee.
Thank you. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
9, please.
Don't like stopping? Fly Southwest Airlines nonstop from Chicago Midway to all these cities in the West for just $99 one way. Purchased by October 19th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Pressure. Enemy of engines. Pressure, Pennzoil Platinum. It's the full synthetic with adaptive molecules that continually join forces to help conquer the enormous pressure inside your engine. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Shining is giving someone a voice. With Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, you'll have the tools and flexibility to make the smartest decisions for you and your family. Because we believe your health care should stay right where it belongs, in your hands. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, shining through.
Join Derek Lee, Michael Barrett, Ryne Sandberg, Ernie Banks, those Hall of Famers, and many more Cubs at the 22nd Annual Cubs Convention, January 19th through the 21st, 2007. Reserve your rooms today at the Hilton Chicago by calling 312-922-4400. For more information, please call 773-404-CUBS or visit Cubs.com. Bob Howery coming on to try to close out the Pirates as the Cubs try to close out a 4-game skid. Xavier Nady with his first at bat. Fouling off for strike one. 32,557 tonight. Let's see, a paid crowd here at Wrigley. Whoopee! All right. 0-2. So Rich Hill gets the no decision, but as long as the Cubs win, we're good with that.
Hey, as long as Rich Hill pitches the way he did tonight, I think all is well with the Cubs. Yep. He was outstanding tonight.
Inside. And the Cubs would like to extend get well wishes to Terry Arnold from Elk Grove Village, Illinois. Terry rooting on the Cubs tonight from Alexian Brothers Hospital. A 1-2 pitch, now 2-2 on Nady. Happy 27th birthday to Jeff Dillman. So he shares a birthday with Derek Lee. Nady's still alive. Couple of pitches right in that area, making Nady move. Pitcher of record for the Pirates is Graybo. First 2 runs on that grand slam were charged to him. They were his runners. Ronnie Cedeno looks it in. Throws out Nady. Wirtz could get the win for the Cubs. Paulino without a hit tonight, but still hitting .315 on the year. Nice pitch on the outside corner, 2 strikes.
Oh, and Howery has that fastball dialed in on that outside corner. There's not much a right-handed hitter can do. Just keep pounding it out there at the knees, and then about the time the hitter leans out and tries to hit that pitch, he'll move him off the plate the way he did with Xavier Nady, or throw a slider out there just like that.
Astros got 3 in the 9th and beat the Phillies 5-3 tonight. Dodgers edged Milwaukee 2-1. That's a final. The Dodgers avoid the sweep. They started the night just a game up on the Padres, who were at home. And in the second, no score. Rockies in the Pods. Petco Park. San Francisco beat Cincinnati today 3-2. Tapper to Howery. 2 away. Nationals with a walk-off win. 10 blown saves for Jason Isringhausen. 7-6 a final. So Howery going after Joe Randa. 2 down here in the 9th. This should do it. And the Cubs win. Derek Lee on his 31st birthday with the game-winning grand slam in the 8th inning. Cubs scored 6 times in the 8th. And they beat the Pirates tonight, snapping their losing streak. 7-2 the final. So the Cubs end a couple of losing streaks, a 4-gamer overall, and a 5-game skid against the Pirates. Happy birthday indeed to Derek Lee. Cubs now a half game ahead of the Pirates. They're back in 5th in the National League Central. The Pirates are back in 6th. Our Hyundai player of the game is Derek Lee at the game winner.
Game-winning grand slam. This was really 2 different ball games, Len. The first game, which was very much a pitcher's duel, dominated by Rich Hill, and then the bottom of the 8th inning when the Cubs exploded offensively. 7 hits, 6 runs. Right in the middle of it, Derek Lee's grand slam home run.
Let's go down to the field. Luke Stuckmeyer standing by with Derek Lee.
Derek, pretty nice birthday present on your 31st birthday. What did he throw you?
He threw me a fastball. You know, I was being aggressive right there, wanted to get something in there, at least get 1 run in, and I got a good swing off.
Obviously, it's been a rough season with the wrist. What made you want to come back and play out the rest of the season?
Well, you play. If you can play, you play. So, you know, my wrist started feeling better, so it was time to get back out there.
How about the effort from Rich Hill tonight? He was awfully good for the 2nd straight start.
Yeah, he was really good. I wish he would have got the win, but you know, he kept us in it, and we kept fighting, and it's a relief to get a win tonight.
All right, appreciate it. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to Derek Lee, his 31st, and Rich Hill, the most strikeouts by a Cubs lefty since 1990. Let's send it back to our Comcast Sportsnet studios and Pat and Carey.
Every night at 6:30, 10 at midnight, there's only one show devoted to the true Chicago sports fan. Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet. If you love Chicago sports, then this is your nightly destination for all that's happening. No other show goes as in-depth on your teams, with highlights, interviews, analysis, and more time on the stories you care about. Chicago, this is your nightly sports news. Sports Night, every night at 6:30, 10 at midnight, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
It's back. The Chevy Model Year End event. We're moving out the last of the 06 Chevy models. So make your move. They're going fast. More Americans choose Chevy. Claim yours before they're gone.
Log on to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check us out today.
Want more than just the score? Then log on to ComcastSportsNet.com. Read analysis from Comcast Sportsnet's experts that you can't find anywhere else. Get up to the second news headlines. See the day's programming lineup. Check out talent bios and watch video clips featuring the latest info on your teams. Plus, sign up for Sports Extra and Sports Blast email alerts that make you the first to know about breaking news. So what are you waiting for? Log on to ComcastSportsNet.com right now.
Pat and Carey, thank you. Michael Wirtz got the win. He threw 9 pitches, got 2 outs, and picks up the victory in relief tonight for the Cubs. The losing pitcher was John Grabo. He drops to 4-2, 2 hours, 27 minutes, 7-2 the final tonight. Special thanks to Bob Albrecht, Dave Turner, Tamara Anderson, Christine Charbonneau, Anthony Diasio, our entire crew here at Wrigley Field, our executive producer, Jim Corno Jr., and now for Bob Brenly, Len Casper saying good night from the friendly confines. A final tally. The Cubs 7, the Pirates 2. Our next Cubs telecast will be Friday night, 6 o'clock Central Time from Atlanta. as the Cubs and the Braves begin a 4-game weekend wraparound series. Stay tuned for BMW Postgame Live. You've been watching Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Good night.
Champagne, gentlemen.
Don't worry, I got us covered. What is that? It's Coors Light cooler box. 18 plastic bottles and a ready-made cooler. All we need is ice. Genius.
The Go Anywhere Coors Light cooler box. Just add ice and enjoy.
To the bride.
Coors Light. Taste the cold.
Breathe in, breathe out. Restless, waiting for anything. So come on, come on, come on now. Let's go, let's jump right in, screaming to the wind, feed the fire within. I can't ignore this burning in my soul. Come on, baby, let's go.
There's a car company for people like that. Ford. Bold moves.
After the Bears game, turn to Comcast Sportsnet for U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live. Our expert team breaks down all the action and brings you live player interviews and press conferences. U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live after every Bears game on Comcast Sportsnet. Tonight, White Sox baseball plays on Comcast Sportsnet. Central rivals square off on the south side as Joe Creedy leads the Sox against the Indians in high definition, followed by U.S. Cellular White Sox postgame live. White Sox Indians tonight at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet. Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit Southwest.com. Bacardi Rum, if you're going to drink, be responsible. Pontiac, 10 models, each one designed for action. LoJack, the only stolen vehicle recovery system that is operated by police. Robert Morris College, real college for the real world. Hyundai, take the Hyundai Challenge. Visit thehyundaichallenge.com. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Your friends at Jack Daniel's remind you to please drink responsibly. Cadillac, introducing the new Cadillac Escalade. Rico, move your ideas forward with Rico Dependability. Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world. And by Heineken, it's all about the beer, Heineken.
The drama of NASCAR is on TNT.
The countdown to the cut. Only on TNT. Loudon, Pocono, Michigan, Bristol, Richmond. When it counts, it's on TNT. TNT. TNT.
The drama of NASCAR all season long on TNT.
NASCAR on TNT is brought to you by Doug's Heating and Air Conditioning, where your comfort is our concern.
It's time you answered a few questions about your gambling. Do you gamble with others' money? Is your gambling hurting your friendships? Do you gamble because you're depressed? I did. And my gambling cost me my friendships and my job. It nearly got me evicted. But you don't have to lose like I did. You can get help. Just call 1-800-BETS-OFF. I did. And I'm back on my feet again.
Drives it deep left center. Grand slam time on his birthday.
Well, happy birthday to Derek Lee, who turns 31 tonight, and he gives presents to all the Cub fans out there. A grand slam home run, the 5th time he's homered on his birthday. The Cubs a winner tonight, 7-2. They get out of last place in the National League Central. Hello again, everyone. Welcome into BMW Cubs Postgame Live alongside our expert analyst, the All-Star closer Dan Plesac. I'm Mark Shanowski, and Derek Lee with a flair for the dramatic. He just crushed that pitch.
I mean, this guy has been sorely missed in this lineup, and you could see the start that this team had at a point being 14-9, the devastating injury that happened in Los Angeles, and he just means so much to this team, and not only by his performance on the field, but he's a leader on this team. He plays with energy every day, and you can just see And there's some good days ahead for Derek Lee. Just play the rest of this string out the rest of this season, and next year has to be better. This team has just been maligned with injury after injury after injury, but there's a lot of positive things. Position player-wise, this team is not really that as bad a shape as people think they are going into 2007.
Well, Rich Hill pitched his heart out tonight, struck out 11 guys, and it looked like for a while he was going to be the losing pitcher in the game. Pittsburgh scored 2 in the 8th to take a 2-1 lead, and then the Cubs came right back. They battled back in the inning with the help of some shoddy play by Pittsburgh.
It was kind of the tale of 2 games. The first 7 innings well pitched on both sides, some shoddy defense in the 8th inning by both teams. But I tell you what, Rich Hill is starting to bring some of the credentials that you were hearing about in the minor leagues. He threw outstanding. Command of his fastball, terrific curveball, and if he keeps progressing like this the remaining part of the month of September, he is definitely in the plans as a major part of this pitching staff. Because I'll tell you what, if you watch a game, the thing that really excites you about him, you see a lot of swing and misses. He has a terrific fastball and a great curveball.
Here's the 8th inning. Obviously, Pittsburgh makes some mistakes, though. That was just going to be a sacrifice bunt. They can't pull the trigger on and get runners on first and second.
No, this is why these 2 teams are where they're at. They're not able to make plays that need to be made. Here, a slip and a fall by Caps. I mean, that there's nothing you can really do about that. And then the floodgates open. Aramis Ramirez comes up here, hits a line drive, you're thinking, here we go again, bases loaded, nobody out. But then this is what big-time players do. They pick guys up. Derek Lee gets a fastball in the inner third. 93, went out 103. This is a big-time player. He's been sorely missed and a great addition back into this lineup.
And you can see how much more confidence Derek Lee has now that his wrist is 100% healthy. He wasn't 100% the first time he came back.
He's a different player right now. The second stint back off of coming back off the wrist injury, you can see that he feels a lot better. He's a lot more confident. He's swinging the bat, and I think one of the signs is that ball that he hit for the home run on the inner third of the plate, 93 miles an hour. When he came back the first time after coming off the disabled list, he was having a difficult time getting to that ball on the inner third of the plate, and pitchers were pounding him in there. He had to really make sure that he was getting his hands through. He wasn't able to do it. He's a different player right now. This is the Derek Lee that showed flashes of what made him, in my opinion, the second best player in the National League.
Of course, you played 18 years in the major leagues. You know what it takes, the work ethic involved. And when Luke Stuckmeyer asked him after the game right on the field, why did you come back after the wrist injury to try to get back? And he said, I'm a pro. That's what we do. There's games to be played.
And that's the one answer that, being a former player, that you love to hear. Why? Because that's what I do. I'm here to play. And I know they're playing the string out this month of September. It's more for the younger players to try to forget about this season. But I tell you what, my hat goes off to Derek Lee. It would have been easy for him to pack it in, to worry about 2007. A terrific player, a great guy with a great attitude. And this team, things are bad right now, but it will be better next season.
Here's an interesting fact about the game. Derek Lee was supposed to get the night off, but he had to go to his manager, Dusty Baker, and say, you know what, put me in. I've had pretty good history hitting on my birthday. Let's hear what Dusty Baker had to say after the game.
Yeah, I mean, he threw an outstanding game. Boy, I mean, we're looking at a shutout there, and then that little triple up the middle, and then the throwing error, by Rich, hit the runner, and then that was a run, and then the other throwing error by Ronnie, and we kind of gave him, both those runs, but the guys came out in the 8th. Rallies usually started by a blooper like that by Angel, and then a couple bunt hits where the speed really paid off. And Ramos hit a rocket. I mean, he hit a rocket up the middle. He turned a double play. It was unbelievable earlier, and then D. Lee, on his birthday, hit another home run. I think that's 3 or 4 in a row for him. So, he wasn't going to play today, but he kind of pleaded with us that he always hits home runs on his birthday. So I guess I got to listen to him. That was a big one, real big one.
Why wasn't he going to play?
Well, because, 2 on and 1 off. So because his hand still bothers him every once in a while, but it's getting better, as you can see, getting stronger. His bat speed's getting better. And that's why he wasn't going to play. So.
It's going to be great to have a healthy Derek Lee in the lineup for all of next season. As we go to break, here's our Pontiac opinion poll. What are your expectations for Rich Hill next season? He was outstanding tonight. Here are your options. A, he's going to go back and forth from Iowa, in and out of the Cubs rotation. B, a decent 4th or 5th starter. C, a 12 to 15 game winner. Or D, the most optimistic, hey, he's going to be a National League All-Star. Go to ComcastSportsNet.com, click on Chicago, then go to the Cubs page and vote. We'll have the results coming up later on Cubs Postgame Live.
Your flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly, offering snacks for sale for $5. Also available, in-flight magazines for $3. If you'd like to rent a pillow or blanket, that'll be $2. If you need to use the restroom, that fee's $4. If you need anything else, feel free to push that call button for a minimum fee of $1.
How far are they going to go? For 35 years, Southwest Airlines has offered low fares with no strings attached.
You are now free to move about the country. Want more than just the score? Then log on to ComcastSportsNet.com. Read analysis from Comcast Sportsnet's experts that you can't find anywhere else. Get up to the second news headlines. See the day's programming lineup. Check out talent bios and watch video clips featuring the latest info on your teams. Plus, sign up for Sports Extra and Sports Blast email alerts that make you the first to know about breaking news. So what are you waiting for? Log on to ComcastSportsNet.com right now. Bears fans, when the game is over, turn to U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live for in-depth postgame coverage. Our All-Pro crew breaks down all the excitement, complete with player grades and expert analysis. Plus, we're live outside the locker room with instant player reactions, inside the press room for all the post-game news conferences, and we'll have a preview of the next big matchup for the Monsters of the Midway. U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live after every Bears game, only on Comcast Sportsnet. When the game is over, the breakdown gets started on BMW Cubs Postgame Live.
As we mentioned, the Cubs really got off to a good start in this game.
Dan Plesac offers his take on what happened.
This game was simply won and lost in the 5th inning.
Hear live post-game reactions. Catch Lindenbaum's final thoughts. And preview the Northsiders' next big matchup. BMW Cubs Postgame Live. After every Cubs game on Comcast Sportsnet. This September is a month to remember on Comcast Sportsnet. Huge White Sox games as the champs charge down the stretch. The future is now as the Cubs look to finish strong. U.S. Cellular Bears postgame live returns. Ozzie Guillen continues to tell his story on Omni Monera, My Way. Garrett Wolf leads NIU into gridiron action. And Dan Kelly and Ed Olczyk have the call when the Hawks hit the ice for the preseason. It's all this September, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Derek Lee celebrates his 31st birthday with a grand slam homer as the Cubs beat Pittsburgh. For more coverage, pick up tomorrow's Sun-Times, the bright one, the official paper of sports. Welcome back to BMW Cubs Postgame Live. Mark Shanowski and Dan Plesac with you following a 7-2 victory over the Pirates. It's time now for our Feldco pitching recap, and it was fun to watch Rich Hill today. The 26-year-old lefty had it all going. You know, Pirates lefty Zach Duke was pretty good himself, but Rich Hill struck out 11. He had command of all his pitches. What'd you like best? He was really good.
There was a lot to like about Rich Hill tonight. Command of the strike zone, and we've touched on this before. When he can throw strike one with his fastball, he has a good curveball from a left-hander in the National League. And when he's throwing strikes and throwing that fastball in the inner half of the plate with 2 strikes, he can be good. This guy has the goods to be a good pitcher, and you've been waiting for him to bring that bag with him that has all these great accolades that he's had in the minor leagues, had tremendous success pitching in AAA, and he's finally, this second go-around, you're starting to see glimpses of why the Cubs were so high on him and why other people in baseball were waiting. Here's something I haven't seen him do yet, dropping down on a fastball, and then I tell you what, when he's throwing the ball over the plate, he has a couple of pitches, and one of the things you look for that you see with a pitcher to make you think that he could be a good pitcher, he gets a lot of swings and misses. Yeah. You very rarely see foul balls and a lot of contact. When he's down in the strike zone using that curveball, very difficult to hit.
And here's our present to Derek Lee on his 31st birthday. We're going to give him the singular Raising the Bar Player of the Game. I'm not sure what award goes with it, but we're happy to pass it along.
Hopefully he's not expecting me to bake him a cake because my
you already did.
It's less than this. I know I have all kinds of flour and egg all over my hands right now, but a big-time player comes up in a clutch spot. You know, this is a situation. Bases loaded, nobody out. Aramis Ramirez hits a scalded line drive. It could have been one of those, here we go again, we get runners on, and Derek Lee comes up, picks the team up. And you know what? There was a lot of positives. There were some negatives, some very very shoddy defensive play that helped the 8th inning. Rich Hill on a sacrifice bunt throwing the ball. Fortunately, Ryan Terrio, hopefully he didn't injure his wrist. And then in a ground ball hit to Ronnie Cedeno, really kind of an off-balance throw. That play needs to be made. That's a play that a shortstop has to make at that point of the game.
But you know what, Dan? We've suffered enough all season. We're going to celebrate Derek Lee hitting a grand slam homer to give the Cubs a big victory, I should say. Let's hear what Derek had to say after the game.
You know, I don't know. It's a weird thing, and I was feeling some pressure that last at bat. Having not hit one, I told Bake I got to play today because it's my birthday, and I've hit some home runs. So it was nice to hit it. No, it's just a fluke. I mean, there's nothing.
That looked like the best ball you've hit maybe all year.
No, I think the best ball I hit was my first at bat. I thought I had a good swing on that. That ball I just elevated more, and it got out of the park. But I felt yesterday and some of the bats yesterday, it felt really good, and my first at bat today felt really good.
Well, it might not have been the best ball he hit, but Cub fans will take it. A grand slam to win the game. Time for another break, but you still have time to vote on tonight's Pontiac opinion poll. What are your expectations for Rich Hill next season? A, in and out of the rotation. B, a decent 4th or 5th starter. C, a 12 to 15 game winner. Or D, a National League All-Star. Go to ComcastSportsNet.com to make your choice. We'll have the results coming up next on Cubs Postgame Live.
When the game is over, the breakdown gets started on BMW Cubs Postgame Live.
As we mentioned, the Cubs really got off to a good start in this game.
Dan Plesac offers his take on what happened.
This game was simply won and lost in the 5th inning.
Hear live postgame reactions. Catch Len and Bob's final thoughts. And preview the Northsiders' next big matchup. BMW Cubs Postgame Live. After every Cubs game on Comcast Sportsnet.
Introducing the new Escalade EXT and the extended Escalade ESV.
Comcast Sportsnet's action-packed weekend begins Friday night at 6 as the Cubs take on the Braves. Saturday at 2, NIU battles Ohio U in a college football showdown. At 5:30, the series continues when the Cubs and Braves meet again. Sunday at 12:30, the Sox and Indians wrap up their series. At 4:30, don't miss an all-new Ami Manera. After the Bears game, catch U.S. Cellular Bears postgame live. It's an action-packed weekend only on Comcast Sportsnet. On the next Ami Manera, for Latin American baseball players, adjusting to American culture can be hard.
Es difícil cuando tú llegas a este país y te sientas y no sabes qué carrizo está diciendo el de al lado mío.
But the success of Azikian and others continues to provide inspiration.
Y eso le sirve para los jovencitos que están empezando ahora a jugar este béisbol, que en la vida todo es posible.
Ami Manera, presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers and United Auto Insurance Group. Sunday only on Comcast Sportsnet. Want more than just the score? Then log on to ComcastSportsNet.com. Read analysis from Comcast Sportsnet's experts that you can't find anywhere else. Get up to the second news headlines. See the day's programming lineup. Check out talent bios and watch video clips featuring the latest info on your teams. Plus, sign up for Sports Extra and Sports Blast email alerts that make you the first to know about breaking news. So what are you waiting for? Log on to ComcastSportsNet.com right now.
Time to check out the results of our Pontiac opinion poll. We asked, what are your expectations for Rich Hill next season? You have to figure he's going to be a regular in that Cubs starting rotation. Here's what you told us. 51% say, well, he'll be a decent back of the rotation kind of guy. 36% say he's a 12 to 15 game winner. You going to want to weigh in on that one, Dan?
I'll tell you what, from what I've seen this second go around, very impressive. Leads me to believe that there's some good things ahead for him. I think this team will be better next year. There's going to be some changes. The current roster you see is not going to be the roster you see in April of next season. I think he has a legitimate shot to be a 12 to 15 game winner. What you saw tonight is a glimpse of what this guy can do, and he has the goods to be a very good pitcher.
There was big news down in Miami tonight. There were probably, what, 10, 12,000 people getting a
312.
chance to witness some baseball history. Might not have heard of this guy, Anibal Sanchez. This is going to be the final out of the game. It's a shutout. It's a no-hitter. The first no-hitter thrown in the major league since Randy Johnson did it as a Diamondback early in 2004. Sanchez becomes the first rookie to toss a no-no since the Cardinals' Bud Smith. You remember him. He blanked the Padres in 2001. Congratulations to Anibal Sanchez. Here are the starters for tomorrow's series finale. It's a 1:20 start at Wrigley Field. Sean Marshall against Sean Chacon. Another chance for Marshall to show the Cubs brass what he can do.
You know, this is really audition time of the month of September to see if he's back and healthy. And Sean Chacon, you know, the trade, the Greg Wilson trade coming from the Yankees to the Pirates, I'm sure a letdown for him. But this is a key stretch of games for this young Cub pitching staff to see who's in and who's going to solidify themselves in the plans for 2007.
And after the finale, the Cubs play 4 in Atlanta. That's all the time we have for now. For Dan and the entire crew, thank you so much for watching BMW Cubs postgame live. A nice victory for the Cubs. Our next Cubs game here on Comcast Sportsnet is on Friday night. It's a 6:05 start in Atlanta. Stay tuned for Jim Beam Sports Night coming up next with Pat Boyle and Kerry Sayers. More postgame reaction from Wrigley Field. A big victory for the Cubs. Happy birthday to Derek Lee. So long, everyone.
Every night for the latest on the NFC North champs, stay with Comcast Sportsnet's Countdown the Kickoff. Count on our team to bring you the latest news coming out of Hollis Hall. Hear from players and coaches as they prepare for another season. Get exclusive one-on-one interviews and keep up to date on position battles and standout performers. Don't miss Countdown the Kickoff, presented by your local Ford store. Every night on Sports Night, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Introducing the new 2007 Yukon Denali, the definition of great engineering.
On the next A Mi Manera, for Latin American baseball players, adjusting to American culture can be hard.
Es difícil cuando tú llegas a este país y te sientas y no sabes qué carrizo está diciendo el de al lado mío.
But the success of Azikian and others continues to provide inspiration.
Y eso le sirve para los jovencitos que están empezando ahora a jugar este béisbol, que en la vida todo es posible.
A Mi Manera, presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers and United Auto Insurance Group. Sunday only on Comcast Sportsnet. Comcast Sportsnet's action-packed weekend begins Friday night at 6 as the Cubs take on the Braves. Saturday at 2, NIU battles Ohio U in a college football showdown. At 5:30, the series continues when the Cubs and Braves meet again. Sunday at 12:30, the Sox and Indians wrap up their series. At 4:30, don't miss an all-new A Mi Manera. After the Bears game, catch U.S. Cellular Bears postgame live. It's an action-packed weekend only on Comcast Sportsnet. Want more than just the score? Then log on to ComcastSportsNet.com. Read analysis from Comcast Sportsnet's experts that you can't find anywhere else. Get up to the second news headlines. See the day's programming lineup. Check out talent bios and watch video clips featuring the latest info on your teams. Plus, sign up for Sports Extra and Sports Blast email alerts that make you the first to know about breaking news. So what are you waiting for? Log on to ComcastSportsNet.com right now.
Hi, I'm Dan Jiggins. Thursday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll look back on the Sox series with the Red Sox and look forward to their homestand against the Cleveland Indians. Plus, we'll have all the latest on the beloved Bears. Now, it all gets underway Thursday at 5:30.
The following is a paid presentation from Murad Acne Complex.
Acne can really bring a person down, and it has brought me down. Something I'm always conscious about, always. I hated life. I really did.
If you wake up in the morning and your face is covered with acne everywhere, you just want to get back in bed.
It was redder than red, like a tomato, constantly red all the time.
I've tried at least 10 different products that didn't work.
Neutrogena, I've tried everything.